So first of all, welcome everybody, and this is going to be kind of a fun webinar. There are times when we like to look at just other things that are out there that we would find that people in the trading community would enjoy. And what's happening tonight is that I want to say about 5 years ago, one of our clients, we were at one of our live events, and he was just saying like, yeah, well, I've been wanting to really get more consistent in my trading and try to make about $8,000 or $10,000 to $12,000 a month in my trading to supplement my online work, which I make about $8,000 to $10,000 to $12,000 a month in. And I was like, well, what is your online work? He's like, oh, well, I source stuff on Amazon. It just takes me like a couple hours a week, and I'm able to get consistent income from that. And I want to, do that with trading as well. And I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. And so when I found out more about it, I actually ended up doing it as well and getting it for my kids so that they could learn, a little bit, kind of just, my kids like to do in-app purchases and things like that. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to give you those. You got to find ways to do that. And so they would put together like some Minecraft toys and things like that, and they were selling them on Amazon. And so I just thought it was really cool. It's just a really the people that kind of get into trading are attracted to things that don't require any structure. I know when I left corporate America is because I rebelled against structure. I rebelled against having a boss telling me what to do, and I wanted to do things that were a little bit more independently and trading and just kind of doing things on my own. And so that was what was kind of cool. And so I'd like to introduce you to two guys. They are here in Austin, Texas, and I've known Matt Clark for, gosh, Matt, I think we met probably first like maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then also Mike McCleary. And what they do is that this is what they do for a living. They have their own online stores that they put on Amazon and how to source it and all that kind of stuff. And then they show other people how to do it. And if anything, what's interesting is from a trading perspective, you're going to learn a lot about Amazon. You're going to know why this stock's going to keep on going up. I mean, Amazon's going to be a $2 trillion company one day. And then secondly, you'll just you hear about some stuff that you just maybe not have known that was possible to do, or how easy it was to do or to set up. So with that, Matt, I will turn it over to you, and looking forward to listening to what you guys have to say tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Can you hear me loud and clear?
And clear.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you, John, and thanks everyone for joining us here tonight. This is hopefully going to be super valuable for you. We've been doing this for a long time now. I started back, an investment banking job, then doing e-commerce. I think it's going on 11 years now or so. So we've helped a lot of people build these kind of businesses. And like John said, I mean, our goal is to show you a side of e-commerce and Amazon that you may not even realize exists. And the real benefit is not just to give you some useful information, but hopefully you get inspired and you go out there and do something with this information. I mean, if right now a job is your primary source of income, hopefully you're able to replace that with a business that you own using the model that we're going to show you. Or hopefully if trading is a big source of income for you and your job or one or the other, then you're able to possibly build a second stream of income. And like John said, with any business, you can put in as much time as you want. But we have so many people that we've taught this business model to that, they tell us in all honesty, I only put a couple hours in a day, or I only work 2 or 3 days a week. And then, it's kind of up to you what you put in. And because it's like any business, is going to affect what you get out. But this business totally can be run with a minimal amount of time. And that's what our goal is here today, is to show you how the whole business model works, so that if it's right for you and if the time is right for you, you can go out there and actually take what you learn in this webinar and build your own successful business, leveraging a side of Amazon that you may never have seen before. And the real goal here is to help you build an asset that you own and control that makes cash for you no matter what you're doing. Like John said, I mean, I left the corporate world myself. I was actually super excited about getting into investment banking as soon as I got out of college, but then I realized very quickly that I was not built to work for somebody else. I was a super motivated person, but I was not motivated working for anybody else. And so I knew it wasn't right for me, so I wanted a schedule that I controlled. I wanted to control how much money I made, where I made money, how I spent my time, where I worked, who I hung out with, all that sort of stuff, which I imagine you probably feel from time to time yourself. So that's why I got started in business. And, I jumped into e-commerce, kind of fumbled my way into it. And when I say e-commerce, I'm typically referring to selling physical consumer products online. E-commerce can really apply to selling just about anything online, digital or anything else, but I'm really talking about regular consumer products. Like if you're at your house right now, if you look around your home office or your kitchen or maybe your living room, wherever you're listening to this webinar from, all those things you see around you are products that you could go out there, create your own brand of, sell them, and your goal is just like with anything else, with any kind of investment, is to buy them at a low price, sell them at a high price, do that as many times as possible so that you meet whatever financial goals you want to meet. And that's what this business and that's what e-commerce is all about. Now, the cool thing is, you know, when I got started in this thing, I was able to ramp up sales pretty quickly to about a couple $1 million a year. But there was a big problem, is that I didn't have any profit in the business because I hadn't figured that piece out yet. I'd figured out online advertising, a lot of other things. But what I really needed to learn was how to produce cash flow in a business. And so that's what I really dug into. And that's why I ended up going out there and teaching to a lot of people. And, you know, since then I've reached millions of people, been very fortunate. And that's what I'm here today to share with you, is to help you avoid a lot of the same mistakes that I made. And a really important treat for all of us is that I brought here one of our top students. His name is Mike McClary. And like a lot of us, you know, he had his corporate job and he was able to go out there and build a super successful e-commerce business in about a year with no prior experience, using the exact same model that he and I are going to be teaching you on this webinar. You know, there's really nobody better that I could possibly put in front of you when it comes to learning how to start, grow, and scale on Amazon. He's that good. He's a full partner in our company at Amazing. He's our chief product officer, and he still runs his own multi-million-dollar e-commerce business, like pretty much all of us that are involved in leadership at Amazing. So super excited. I'll be here the entire time. I'll be watching Q&A. I'll be responding to you. And then we're going to do a live Q&A together at the end. But Mike's going to take over in just a few seconds. He's going to handle the presentation, and I'll be behind the scenes making sure everything's taken care of. And then I'll be writing down questions that you're asking. So if you have any questions, go ahead, pop them in the Q&A box or in the chat box, and I'll be writing those down so we can answer them for everybody at the end, because this is 100% live. So our goal is to give you as much value as possible in the time that we have here today. So with all that said, ask lots of questions, give us lots of engagement. We're going to give you as much as we possibly can, answer as many questions as we can during the Q&A. Make sure you take lots of notes. But with all that said, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Mike McClary.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And thanks, John, for the introduction as well. Matt introduced me to John Carter several years back. I got a chance to hang out with him and Matt and the other co-founder of Amazing, Jason, at his ranch in South Austin. It was awesome. I've always wanted to meet more of his audience because he speaks so highly of them. We know you guys do an incredible job of some day trading and running your own businesses. And we always thought this would be the perfect opportunity to talk with you guys about another way that you can also make it an incredible investment that's able to grow into something that you could, either have as a cash flow machine or potentially even, sell as an investment, as an asset down the road. So with that said, we're going to talk about how to create a perfect product that sells and makes 6 figures in profit per year, because profit is what it's all about. And on this webinar, as a matter of fact, we're going to give you a list of 20 opportunities that actually fit that criteria and then some. Each of these actually does a lot more than generating 6 figures in profit, and you'll see exactly what that profit and those revenue numbers are later on. But to keep it in perspective, now think about what kind of business you might want to create for yourself. A lot of the times we talk to people, the goal is to create a business that generates an income or profit of 6 figures or more. Now, when you think about the products that we're going to be showing you today, in order to do that, all you need to do is really just sell 27 products a day, or 27 units a day to be specific. So if you pick one of these, you find one of your own, all it takes is 27 a day when you break it all down. And that's enough with the revenue and the profit you'll be bringing in to generate at least 6 figures in profit. It's pretty incredible to think that one of these products can do that. You're looking at them right here. There's some type of mascara, some kind of headphones there, and eye blockers, and also a toy, and then some nail kit as well. And we have 16 more to show you, and we're going to show you how to find hundreds, if not thousands more just like this. And that's going to allow you to really generate your own profitable business. Now, another way to think of this is you don't have to just find one, golden ticket, one home run of a product and really hope that that product sells, at least 27 or more a day. You can also break it down and make it much easier. You could sell 2, 3, 4 products and then sell maybe 6 or 7 a day. That's another way to do this, and actually to build a brand as well. And we'll be talking about that as well on here, because that's what I've done. I now probably have about 30 different products. It's kind of funny that I don't remember the exact number of SKUs, because we keep launching more and more products, and we're launching more and more brands, because once you know this system, you can do it over and over again. It really is a rinse and repeat system. You just have to know the formula that we're going to teach you today. So here's the power of exactly what you'll be learning today. We're going to give you the exact step to generate a business that generates $10,000 to $20,000 a month in profit, not revenue, but profit. We're also going to allow you to ditch your 9-to-5 job for good because you'll have something that's going to bring in consistent income for you. And one of the big benefits of this is you can live anywhere that you want. You won't be tied down to any type of physical location. All you really need is a laptop and an internet connection to do this. And once you have a business like this, Matt already talked about this a little bit, you can spend time how you want to. I do not spend much time on my own physical products businesses anymore. By now I've brought a couple people in to help me with just the customer service side of it. But even starting off, in order to build the business, I was working about 1 to 2 hours a day, kind of going through actually finding my products and launching them out there. But even managing and operating the business doesn't take more than a few hours a day in order to keep it going and even grow at that point in time. Now, when you're able to do this, you'll be able to take care of those you love. For me, I have 2 young kids. They're getting older now, but I really enjoyed being able to spend all my time with them when they're young and growing up. Having a business like this gave me all the freedom to take them to school, to go to events, to go to parent-teacher conferences. And then when they had days off or they had weeks off for spring break, there's no issue with me taking that time off because I controlled my own business, the amount of time that I wanted to put into this. So that really let me to build the business that I want and take care of those that I love. Now, here's someone right here. This is Shannon Dicing. I've had a chance to meet her several times. She's one of our students who learned to do what you're going to learn to do today. As you can see here, I'm going to pull up my fancy little pointer. This is a screenshot of her Amazon account. It's only 1 month here from July 16th through August 16th of 2019. They generated over $500,000 in sales, all within a 30-day period. And here's a quote from Shannon. She made more money in a single month than she used to make an entire year, and actually quite much more than an entire year. But that's exactly the power of what you'll be able to do once you learn the system we're going to show you today. Now, you might be thinking, as a lot of people are who are looking to build their own business, well, what if I fail? Like, I have a lot of fears in this business, and I just don't want to go out there and take this kind of risk. Because let's face it, any time that you're building a business, there is some amount of risk involved. Now, one of the things you want to think about is you might be having this fear of failure on building this business, and you just don't want to actually fail at anything that you do. We've all had that fear before. I've had it before. I know when I started this out, even as many light bulbs are going off my head that this was the right business, there still was that fear of failure for me. And also, you might just not want to spend a lot of money and you get nothing back for it. And it's not just the money of building a business. We've all been there. It's the time involved as well. Our job here today is to help mitigate both those things. We want to make sure that your risk for failure is as small as possible. And we want to make sure that your chances for success, that you're not wasting money, you're not wasting time, is as high as possible. That's our job here, and we're going to be giving you everything that you need in order to do that. Now, in order to do exactly those steps, here's what we'll be covering today. So first, we're going to talk about the 5 steps that you need to know in order to start and scale an e-commerce business. We're going to give you the exact path to building a 6-figure plus some in annual profits. We're going to show you the true cost and time to build this business. Many people don't talk about this. Again, it's not that you can just, any business is going to take some amount of investment to start. You guys probably know that. We're going to show you exactly what that investment is in both time and money. We're also going to give you a list of 20 hot products, again, that have 6 figures in profits per year, each one of them. And we're going to walk you through how to avoid failing. Even if you failed before, this business model, we've been through it. I've taught thousands of people how to go through this business, and we know exactly the places and the pitfalls that they failed, and we know the ways to get around them and make sure that you have the highest chances as possible of succeeding. Now, Matt already mentioned that, I was one of the students early on. He taught me exactly what I know and how to build this business. I kind of want to just tell you a little bit more about me as well, so that you know that I'm the right person to be on this webinar today, teaching you how to do what I did. If you look at this picture in the upper right-hand corner, that actually was my office. Now, I did a fancy little arrow there. You might not be able to see it unless you have supervision, but that's my name on the placard. That's my old office at a telecom company in St. Louis, Missouri. You can see the traffic out there, but that's the world I lived in for about 20 years. Now, in 2013, I started learning how to build this business that you're going to learn about today. And within 1 year, I was able to quit that corporate job forever. And it was, other than having kids, getting married, the biggest moment in my life that even to this day is something that's incredibly surreal to believe that I was able to, within 1 year, completely replace my income and then be able to do a life that I love, have freedom to travel, freedom with time, freedom to not worry about the finances for my family and my children. It's been unlike anything else. And since that time, I've been able to generate over $14 million in sales of products. And I've shared the stage with people such as Richard Branson, you see on the right, a founder of Virgin and Virgin Unite, and also Robert Kiyosaki, author of the all-time best-selling finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, I've also been able to train thousands of people on this business model. And today I'm here to teach you exactly how to do it. Now, again, on this webinar, we're going to give you a list of 20 hot products that you can look at and you can actually find and start selling yourself if you wanted to. And then at the end, Matt and I and John also will be going over any type of questions you might have. Matt's going to be answering as many as possible in the background, but any we don't get to, we'll try to cover at the very end as well. Now, to just kind of see exactly what it's like and what's possible, here's Devin Duresh and his wife, Katie. They're actually from near St. Louis, where I'm originally from, as a matter of fact, and they own a company called Grillaholics. Just last year, and we love celebrating this with them, their business they built using what we're about to teach you made the Inc. 5000. They were number 811 just last year. You can see here highlighted that in 2018, they generated $2.7 million. And over 3 years, that was a 527% growth, doing exactly what you're going to be able to learn today. Their business has blown up. They're just an amazing couple. They have a great family, a lot of faith, and a lot of help comes from them helping other people. Devin's been on stage with us before teaching people because he absolutely loves to do what we do as well, sharing this business model the way that we love doing it. Now, the first step of the steps I'm going to show you is you need to pick a platform in order to sell on. Now, there's lots of different options out there. There's Amazon, the beast out there. There's Shopify, which is growing quickly. There's eBay, which has been around for a long time. And the Walmart is making strides in selling online as well. And there's other ones as well. There's, there's Walmart. Walmart is also facing competition from Target, who's coming up with some good online sales, and some other smaller sites as well that are really making strides in there. However, when you look for a platform, there's certain things you want to look for that we found have the best chances for success. The first, you want to make sure that the platform is large, has lots of customers, and it's still growing. You also want to make sure that there's minimal technical skills needed, because you don't want to be out there having to build your own website. Not that that's something you won't want to do down the road, but you don't want to need to be able to be doing that when you're starting off in this business. You also make sure that there's plenty of proof of success. People like Shannon that I showed you earlier, and Devin and myself and Matt and some of those, you want to make sure that it's not just the one-off that's able to be successful. You also want to make sure that in order to use that platform, you don't have to pay higher exorbitant fees. The fees should get you a lot of value and allow you for room for getting a lot of profit as well. And you want to make sure that there's lots of opportunities. It can't just be 1, 10, 100 people out there. There needs to be tens of thousands of people out there really using that platform to generate life-changing businesses. And what we found is that Amazon fits the bill for every single one of those. It's large and it's growing. It's not in decline, kind of like eBay is. You don't really need to know anything technical in order to use it. There's tons of success stories using Amazon. There will be tons more coming up. The fees are incredibly reasonable when it comes to fulfillment and warehousing. And also there's just lots of opportunities because they have more products. I believe 3 billion and growing products are sold on Amazon every single year. Now, last year in 2019, Amazon did $280.5 billion in revenue, which was almost $50 billion more than they did the previous year. And they've been growing like crazy every single year. And analysts actually thought they might even grow more than 50 billion this past year. And they were a little disappointed in that growth, which is crazy to think about. A company grows almost 50 billion in 1 year, and analysts look at it and wonder like, hey, they could have done a little better. I'd love to have this kind of expectations. And then when you look at the US and their market share in the US, they do over 49% of all online retail sales, which I don't know of any other type of business that is that large of a market share for what they're doing. And it's not just the US though, they have an incredible international presence as well. The German market is really growing. The UK market has always been very strong. The entire EU market is a really good market to get into as well, because they share so many different logistic ways of getting products from one country to the other that we don't have over here that they have. And it's just a growing opportunity over there. Now, they've launched in Australia, Japan is growing up as well. And then in South America, that's probably the next opportunity we see down the road for their other sales to really take off. Now, why is Amazon also an easy place? You know, it may seem like there's all these opportunities out there, but why is it so easy to launch? Well, Amazon does so much for you when you build a business like this. They already find the customers. They have 200+ million customers every single month going and purchasing their products, over 100 million Prime customers. They've already got the customers down. You do not have to go out there and find your own customers. They also take care of all the credit card processing and merchant fees and make sure there's no fraud. You don't have to worry about any of that. They take care of the shipping, both from the customers and to the customers, and also any type of other fulfillment, like picking, packing the products off the shelves. They take care of maintaining their own website. They have one of the lowest downtimes of anything you've ever heard of. I think the only time they've ever been down is a brief moment on Cyber Monday, which they heard about, and they've taken care of that issue, and they're up, and they do incredible performance all the time. They take care of most customer service. If there are issues with any kinds of products or delivery, and usually it's only a delivery issue, they take care of it. You never hear about it because they've already handled it. And they also take care of any types of returns and refunds completely seamlessly in the end. There's a lot more that they do as well, including all the different marketing tools that they provide for you and they continue to add to. But they take care of pretty much everything in the business except for a couple of things that you need to do. You need to do the branding and actually build the products, and you don't have to build them, but find a company to do that. We're going to show you how to do that. And then you just need to make sure that you keep your inventory in stock so that you can keep making sales every single day on Amazon. Now, in order to get set up on Amazon, it's pretty simple as long as you follow these basic rules, because it doesn't matter what country you live in. If you live in the United States, then you want to sell on Amazon.com in the US. All you need to do is go to sellercentral.amazon.com, get set up. You do not even need to have a business or a license or LLC. You can get that down the road. We recommend eventually setting that up, but to get started, the most important thing is to find your product and build your brand. You can always get the LLC or separate business later on because Amazon does not require that. It's not needed for any reason at all. You can push that down the road. Once you realize just how real this business is, that's the time to take those next steps as far as actually building a formal business for your products on Amazon. Now, if you live in the United Kingdom, you have a couple more options. You could sell over in the UK, or you can also start off selling in the United States. It's pretty simple to do, and getting product shipped from wherever your manufacturer is to the United States versus the United Kingdom, it's not that much difficult at all. You just have a freight forwarder, find those products and tell them where they're going to pick them up and where they're going to send them to. And it's no different than selling in the UK or US. Either one works perfectly fine. Also, you just go to Seller Central UK side. It's actually sellercentral.co.uk, and you can set up an account there. And again, you don't have to have a company set up. What we do recommend, though, is if you have any kind of concerns or whatever, set up a limited company in the UK. You can do it in Ireland or in Britain, and it's pretty simple to do. That gives you a much easier route for you. We kind of recommend that for anyone who's not used to doing it in the UK. If you have any concerns at all, just set up. It's very simple to do for a couple $100. Now, if you live in Germany, definitely start selling in Germany. Germany is one of the fastest growing markets on all of Amazon. You do that by going to amazon.de, and it's pretty simple to set up. And all you do is just give them your regular details, and you'll start selling over there right away. Once you started selling there, you can expand later on to the US or to other parts of the EU. Now, if you live anywhere else in the world, we recommend you start selling in the United States, only because that's where the largest number of all the customers are on Amazon. And it's really easy to set up and selling inside of the United States. And again, don't worry about setting up a business. Just use your personal information to get started, and then you can be up and selling in a matter of days. To do that again, it's the same place when you're in the USA. Whether you're outside the USA or in the USA, you go to sellercentral.amazon.com, and then you'll be able to get set up all within a matter of a few days. You'll be approved on there and up and selling. Now, again, Amazon is an incredible business because not only of all the customers they have, not only because of all the different ways and tools they give you to sell your products, but because they do so much for you that this is practically an automated business that you can run from anywhere in the world. Because I don't know about everyone else here, but even in addition to having a business that generates a lot of profit, gives you all the financial freedom, I also want to have freedom of time. I don't want to be sitting at my desk working for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, running a business, even an online business. I want to make sure that this business is running like clockwork, 24/7, 365 days a year. Actually, this month, 366 days a year, because it's a leap year, but you need a business that runs completely on autopilot. And this one pretty much does that for you. And here's how it all works. First, there's you, and your job is to find a product and have a manufacturer make that for you. Simple to do. We'll show you how to do that. Then you'll have that manufacturer send the product to Amazon using the service called Fulfillment by Amazon. It's affordable. It takes care of all the shipping, picking, and packing for you, and it makes your life incredibly simple. Then Amazon's going to sell those products to their customers, and then they'll collect the money from the customers. And every 14 days, Amazon will direct deposit your proceeds right into your account. And then you simply repeat that process all over again. When you're getting low on inventory, have your manufacturer make some more. Usually it's about 30 days, ship the products to Amazon, they continue to sell them. And it's an incredible cycle that's nearly automated. All you need to do is just a little bit of customer service every once in a while when a customer has a question that Amazon can't answer, and that's few and far between. Now, once you have your account set up and you know where to set it up at, the next step is to create a list of product opportunities. In order to do this, we're going to give you the 3 critical elements that you want to look for when finding a great product. The first one is you want a product that has good potential profit. And you want to make sure that it's not just the profit per unit, it's the total number of sales times the total profit, because otherwise you can't generate enough profit to really make that 6-figure income that we all want. You also want to make sure at the same time that in addition to having enough potential profit, there's low enough competition where you can get in and start making sales very quickly, and then quickly scale up from that one product to 2 to 4 to 8 to 10, as many as you want. And you want to make sure that that product is easy to launch and sell. You don't want something that's incredibly complicated, has a lot of restrictions around it. You want something that you're able to get in, and within a matter of, a month of getting the product made and another few weeks to a month getting it shipped there, you can start selling right away. You follow those 3 steps and you have a great product opportunity. Now, a way to think about the potential profit is to look at this product right here. This is a water foot massager. And this product sells for about $60 or so on Amazon. And there's a real easy way in order to figure out the profit. Now, I'm going to kind of walk you through here. This product sells for almost $63. Now, the monthly sales for this exact product, and this is going to be in your list of product opportunities that we give you, so you can see all the details there. It sells about 2,600 units a month, which is less than 100 a month. And then that means that that also results in about $13.50 per product as cost. So if we go to a manufacturer and we find this manufacturer make it for us, it's about $13.50. Now that includes $1 for shipping as well, because we know we need these products from the manufacturer and Amazon. We've already incorporated that into these fees right here. And then Amazon is going to take out $24.44. That may sound like a lot, but what they're doing there is they're taking about 15% for the referral fees or their commission, and they're taking the rest of that to handle all the fulfillment, picking and packing those products, shipping the customers, taking care of all returns. It's really not that big of a margin, because when you see the profit on this, the monthly profit is over $65,000. And I'm going to walk you through a tool called the Amazon FBA Revenue Calculator that shows you exactly how to find this exact number for this product and for any other product that you want to look at. Now, in order to get a product that is going to have a good profit potential, you want to find one also that has almost no competition out there. Now, if you look at this product right here, this is a back massage or back warmer for you. And a great way to find products that have, not a lot of competition is to simply use Amazon. There are tools out there that we use to help do this, but Amazon walks you through how to find these products as well. So let's imagine that we want to look for this back massager here with that heat on there as well. And we type in back massager. You can see here that there's over 7,000 results for back massager on Amazon. Still not, too bad, but let's see if we can do a little better. The way to do this is to start looking for longer tail keywords. If we look for back massager for chair, we're down to only 111 other sellers selling this product. And yet, if we go even further and look for back massager for chair heated, there are only 4 results. The competition for someone trying to sell a heated back massager only has 4 other people selling on Amazon. That's how you narrow down and find a product that, even if it's selling thousands of products a month, you can find these opportunities by looking for the right keywords that have very little competition. And what we would do is, you're going to learn this in the launch process, we would start targeting that keyword right there because there's no competition. And once we got that mastered, we move up to the next one, the back massager for chair. And once we got that mastered, we move up to back massager. That's how we continue to launch products. And I'll walk through that in a little more detail. Now, here's how you do some rapid product research on how to find the best products on Amazon. This may look a little weird. The words I'm typing in there, the letters I'm typing in there, it's like LAKDJ. You don't need to know what that is. There's some kind of weird glitch on Amazon that if you type in the negative sign and then any random set of characters, 7, 8, 10, whatever, doesn't matter what it is, Amazon's going to start showing you all of the top selling products in a specific category. So you type in the negative sign, any random set of keys right there. And then from that point, you want to just pick a category you're interested in. In this situation, let's imagine we're picking garden and outdoor. Then it's going to pull up another set of subcategories. And in this situation, it goes down to garden and lawn care is the one they want to choose. Amazon actually kind of sometimes changes their categories around. So garden and outdoor can sometimes be called patio and lawn and garden. They do weird things like that. But the important thing is you want to go down to 2 levels and then pick another one of these subcategories that you're interested in. And once you do that, you'll be able to pull up a list of all types of the top results. Now you can see these here. This is a tool that we use called the Manage by Stats Retriever. It's an amazing tool that allows you to go out there and look at any list of results on Amazon, and it's going to show you exactly how many sales that product is making per month, what the revenue it is making per month, the price it's selling at, the brand, the name of the product, its ranking of BSR. It's a great tool. You can use something like this. We actually have a 14-day trial on this. We love this tool so much. We didn't build it, but we invested in the company called Manage by Stats who built it because we knew that the tool like this would help us even find products faster than they were before. But you can still do this manually, simply follow these steps up there, and you'll see the products showing up in the list of the most selling, top selling products. You can do the math as well. Now, in order to speed up your process by 3 to 6 months, here's some tips that we found that really help people get started with this. First, you want to look for small products that weigh under 5 pounds. And the reason for that is that there's always a cost for shipping. That's probably, the second biggest cost for a product after the actual cost for paying for the product itself. And if you have a product that weighs over 5 pounds or so, your only option is really going to be to ship these products by ocean. Nothing wrong with that. Ocean is incredibly affordable, but ocean takes about 30 to 40 days in order to get a product in. If you look for a product that weighs less than 5 pounds, then you have some more options. You can actually ship these via air cargo. You can have your product made and manufactured and then shipped over and ready to sell within 5 to 10 days. You don't want to do it with a heavier product. You only do it with a product that weighs under 5 pounds because then you're kind of paying more for that air shipment as well. Now, another way is to also avoid restricted categories. Now, instead of giving you a list of all these, all you got to do is go out there and Google Amazon restricted categories. You'll see them all out there. Think of things that may be lithium batteries. We all heard the stories about hoverboards a few years ago that they were exploding and blowing up. Now those are restricted. Doesn't mean they can't be sold, but they're restricted. So Amazon just requires you to go through a few hoops. So in order to make things quicker and get up and selling, just avoid those right now. That way you can get in selling a product right away. And then later on, once you have your product and your brand built, you can always go down the path of selling in these restricted categories. That's what I've done. It's pretty simple to do, but for anyone new, we recommend that you just avoid those because there are tens of thousands of products that are not restricted. That's much, much easier to get selling with. Also, you want to start with a simple product. You want one that's one size, one color. I would not recommend getting into clothing because that way you have to worry about, men or females clothing, different sizes of shirts, different sizes of shoes, or whatever that is. But that's just way more complexity than you need to when starting out with. So find something that can be sold very simply, one size, one color, and that just gets you going much quicker. You also want to make sure that you go generic at first and you can customize it later. And by generic, you just don't want to go out there and for your first product, create something that's overly complicated, something that you have to customize. There are tens of thousands of products out there that you can sell that are incredibly generic, that people want and are in high demand, that you virtually have to do nothing for in order to sell them. And that's the way to go at the beginning because you can always, down the road, you can always create a more fancy logo down the road. You can always go out there and create better packaging down the road. You can always go out there and customize the product and maybe even get a patent down the road if you want to. You don't need to do that when starting off. We don't recommend that. We want to keep things fast so you can up and selling as quickly as possible. That way you're bringing in sales, you're bringing in profits, and you're able to reinvest those into more inventory and into more additional products for your brand. So here's an example right now. This is a yoga mat. And while it's pretty light, it's also pretty bulky. And when it comes to shipping products, it's not just the weight, it's the size because you got to take up all that container space. We don't recommend that you sell something that's really big and bulky, even if it isn't 5 pounds. Just make it simple. Make sure it's something small and lightweight in order to get shipped and to up and selling as quickly as possible. Now, here's a good example. These are ski goggles right here. These absolutely fit the bill. They're lightweight. They can be made very easily. You don't even have to have any kind of branding or logo on there, and they're very easy to get set up, selling, and shipped and going as possible. So now if we think about what we just kind of talked about here, you start off with all the products on Amazon, which again is over 3 billion products out there. Then you try to narrow them down to those that have good profit potential. You also want those that have low competition. And then you want to find those that are easy to sell. That alone is really going to limit the number of products out there that you have to choose from, but there's still going to be thousands out there. But by going through these steps here, you're going to find something that's going to allow you to make profit, that's going to be able to start selling quickly because there's not much competition, and that's not going to hinder you of any kind of hurdles you have to go through with Amazon. These steps alone will help you find the perfect product to start with. But there is one more step you want to go through. You want to really narrow it down to make sure that the profit you're going to make in this product is one that you want. Because if you can't make enough profit, then there's no point in even trying to launch a product. You want to make sure you go through that final step and find one that generates a significant number of profit for you. Now, before we do that though, we need to talk about something that sometimes throws people off here, and that's that you must own the brand. When I started out in this business, when Matt taught me this business here, I did not realize how easy it was to go out there and create your own brand. I didn't realize that half the products that you buy out there, probably more, that you think are made by big brand name companies, they're simply just made by a number of manufacturing plants that make products for tens or hundreds of different companies, and they put their own branding on them. It's really not that difficult to do, but it is important because if you do own your own brand, then you'll get higher profit margins because you're not selling someone else's product and someone else's brand, you're selling your own. It gives you a lot more control over your business, over how you market your products, over your listings on Amazon, over all the different tools you have on Amazon. It also builds a business with a lot more value. If you're out there selling someone else's product and someone else's brand, whether it's laundry detergent or someone else's makeup, you're growing their business. If you build your own brand, you're building an asset that you can sell down the road, because one of the most important assets you will be building is your own brand. And also, you'll face less direct competition because when you have your own product, no one else is out there selling your product. They may be selling other types of products similar to yours, but no one sells your exact product and your exact brand, which definitely limits the competition on Amazon and anywhere else in the future that you decide to sell your product. Now, to show you an example of how simple it is, this is the exact same foot massager we sold earlier. Now, if you looked on the site that we're going to show you in a few minutes here where to find these, you would notice that this product looks exactly like so many else out there. However, the seller of this has simply put their own brand name on this up here. MaxCare is the name of the brand. Everything else you see in this product is exactly the same as other products out there. Now, if you're worried about how do you provide additional value, we're going to walk through that as well, because there's lots of ways that you can go out there and create additional value and place your product above everyone else out there to beat out anyone even selling a similar product. Now, to find a product like this, it's pretty simple. You can see here, I went to a site called Alibaba.com and I simply typed in foot spa massager. And one of the first results that pulled up was this one right here, which might even be the exact same one we saw here. But also look here that there are over 18,000 different results for foot spa massager. That's how many companies are out there making products like this that are looking for people just like us to build brands and sell them online on Amazon or our own sites. This one, of course, has over 80,000. All we need to do is continue to look through here and find the one that closely fits ours, and then contact them and kind of work out a deal to get a sample from them, and also just make sure that the price that they're willing to sell it for meets our own different profit margin criteria. And a lot of times you'll find that these minimum order quantities, 500, you can easily get going for 500 units or less. We found companies on Alibaba that'll sell you 100, 50, even 10 units to get going. And then once you actually get your product up and selling, you realize just how much that product is in demand, then you can always increase your orders later on. Now, if you don't want to sell a product that, is a foot massage or any kind of electronic product, or the vast majority on Amazon, if you want to sell something that goes either in your body or on your skin, let's think about supplements or vitamins or some kind of beauty cream, then you simply go to Google and you type in private label and then the name of the product you're looking for. In this example, collagen powder, a pretty big supplement right now. This one, simple search, has over 815,000 results. Now, don't get me wrong, those are not all private label suppliers of it, but it just goes to show you that for any type of beauty or supplement, you can simply go to Google and search for these types of manufacturers looking to private label products for you. This didn't always used to be that way. It used to be really difficult to find products sourced in the United States and for beauty and health and personal care. Now there are companies out there that specialize this and made it completely simple and a seamless process to order from them. Now, let's show you exactly how to do a profit calculation. And let's do it for this product right here. This is the foot massager, and we're going to go and look at the Amazon FBA revenue calculator tool I told you about. And when you Google that and you go there, it's going to pull up a screen like this. You simply enter in the product that you want. You enter in the price of the product that's going to sell on Amazon, and then it does pretty much the rest. So it's going to tell you the selling fees, which is usually just a 15% flat fee on Amazon. It's also going to figure in those fulfillment fees from Amazon right there. In this case, it's about $14.99. I entered $1 in for the standard shipping cost to get it shipped via ocean over to Amazon's warehouse. That brings the total fulfillment cost up to $15.99. The important thing is this product then generates $37.55 to you. Now, the cost of the product is $12.50, which leaves you $25 in profit, or a net profit of almost 40% for this one product. That makes this product a perfect opportunity, and also a really simple way of using this calculator to make sure that the profits for this product match the goals that you want to achieve. Now, there is one more step before picking your perfect product, and that's you want to make sure that you sell only a high quality product. Now, the reason for that is you can go out there and find cheap products that you can get for a lot cheaper. However, you won't have happy customers. You'll have returns, you'll have refunds. And at the end of the day, the more happy customers you have, the more sales that you will get. Because if you have people that are selling your product for you because they're giving you good reviews, they're telling their friends and family about it, those are all free sales that come in down the road. You also don't need to worry about refunds as much when you have a really good quality product, and all those things go into your rating on Amazon and reviews on Amazon, and it allows you to have really, really happy customers that are advocates and ambassadors for your brand. The way I like to think of it, think about a product that you'd want to sell your family member, your kids, your spouse, or any of your friends. You want to make sure that you're proud of the product. And that's why I recommend getting a sample from your supplier, just to make sure the quality is there where you want it to be. So in order to do that, you simply go to Alibaba, or you go to Google if you're looking for some other product in your body or on your skin. You request to get 2-3 different samples from different suppliers, and they will send those to you so you can evaluate them and make sure that you will actually get the quality that you want. Now, if you find one that is, better quality, but usually it's only like a dime more, it's an easy decision. Always spend a little more money to get higher quality. Another thing to look at during this whole process, evaluate the supplier themselves. One of the things that I looked for early on when I was looking for my supplier was communication. I want to make sure that they're responsive, want to make sure that they were communicating as clear as possible. Now, they were from China, and of course, I can't expect them to speak English as well as I can. I certainly don't speak their language very well. I just want to make sure that I could actually communicate with them, and I found one that was fantastic, and they were very thorough. They were always, asking me what more they can do for me, and they've been my supplier to date. That's going on over now 6-7 years. I continue to launch more and more products with them. I've had other suppliers reach out to me with cheaper prices, but I've never wanted to make that move because they make my life easier. It's kind of like how Amazon takes care of everything so much for you as selling on their platform. Having a good supplier makes your life easier by having quality products and making sure they always have your back. Now, once you have that, the next step is to pick one product. You may find 5, 10, a dozen products that are good opportunities, but you want to pick one, and then you want to brand it. And creating a brand is quick and it is simple. Here's the steps to do that. First, just come up with a couple potential brand names for your product and your market. If you want to run them by people, that's what you should do. I ran mine by my kids before I actually ended up on the final brand name. They were great sounding boards, and we love our brand name we had initially. We're still selling it, and now I've launched a dozen more brands since then. Now, once you've done that, you want to check and make sure that you can get a website for it. So check for the .com version of the domain. Those are still more valuable than any other type of domain. And then also you want to check the trademarks in the United States. You can go to just the uspto.gov site and check them out, or you can also just do a Google search for trademarks. There's lots of different resources out there that'll let you find out if a trademark already exists. Now, once you find a brand name that you want, and you realize that you can get the domain and also there's no trademark on it, the next step is to get a logo created. And don't worry about creating the logo yourself. You do not have to be a graphic designer. If you saw me drawing, you would realize I'm not a graphic designer. I have no graphic skills. There are experts out there that are incredibly reasonable that'll do that for you. Two of our favorite sites are Fiverr.com and 99designs.com. They both do great jobs. Fiverr.com with 2 R's, you can get a logo made for $5, $10. That's how cheap it is. And they'll come up with the ideas as well. Now, if you want a really high quality one from a professional who's been doing this for years, you can also go to 99 Designs, and for about $200 or $300, they'll create several different options for you that you can choose from as well. But you don't have to spend that much money on your first one. I would start simpler, go to Fiverr, spend the $5, $10, and then later on down the road, when you have your brand up and selling, you're bringing in profits, then invest in the higher design for your brand, your logo, and maybe in some additional packaging as well. Now, speaking of packaging, you don't have to design that yourself either. Your manufacturer can do that for free. Once you have the logo created, you can send that to your manufacturer. They're going to have a pre-cut out die design for the packaging that they can put around there. And all you need to do is enter in the text you want on there. What's your company name? What's your company address? What's the product name? And then even the instructions, usually they'll have standard instructions. You can just tweak or copyright on there. They'll take care of all the other design for you. Or if you wanted to, again, if you really want to go fancy, I recommend waiting later on down the road. Once your brand is up and selling, once you realize how incredible this business is, that's when it's time to start investing even more in those different types of IP, like better designs and better branding and packaging. Now, if you're worried about why people will want to buy from you, like why are people going to buy from Matt or Mike or John or Mary, whoever it is, don't be hung up on that, because people don't necessarily go to Amazon only to buy from the big brand names. If they did, they might go to an Apple store, they might go to a Puma store, they might go to any other Sonos store, just buy directly from them. They go to Amazon because they trust Amazon. They know Amazon does a great job of giving the best prices out there. They know Amazon does an incredible job of customer service. There is no other e-commerce business out there that provides better customer service. They go there because of all those things. They know they have reviews out there that over the past couple of years, Amazon has cleaned up the reviews. You can trust in Amazon's reviews right now. They know they're going to get great prices. And if they see a price difference, Amazon's going to take care of giving them a refund back for the difference. People go out there, they just want to find a quality product that's going to meet their needs and going to give them exactly what they want out of it for years to come. You can build a brand, you can get the reviews, you can create a listing on there that's going to look as good, if not better than anyone else's, and you will get sales because people have immediate trust in Amazon. And if you're selling on Amazon and you have a great looking image and a great looking listing on there, you will get sales. Now, once you have your product ready to go, the next step and the final step is to launch that product. And there's a few steps that we go through every single time when launching our products. The first is you want to make sure you create a great product listing page. So we'll pull this product up again. This is the foot massager. This is like your own virtual website on Amazon. And the first thing you want to make sure you have is the best looking picture as possible. This one looks great. I love the water they got in there. It really adds some visuals to it that makes people imagine what it's going to be like to put their feet inside the massager. After the main image, you also make sure that you have all the other images out there as well. Amazon gives you usually up to 9 different images. Take advantage of those. You can also include videos now in one of those images, and you want to try to include the image being used as much as possible. The best type of additional images are those that include people, because that makes people imagine what it's going to be like for them using that product. Now, after the main image and all the other images, you want to make sure that you also have a really good, legible, well-read title. And a trick to this is making sure that your main keywords you want people to find your product on is also in the first 5 words of your title. A lot of sellers don't know that. Those first 5 words are the most powerful. And if you're, let's say that this product, people are looking for foot spa bath massagers, you want to make sure you have that in the first 5 words. That's going to give you a ranking boost almost immediately for people searching for that product. Now, in addition to that, you also make sure that you have all these bullet points down there. That's what Amazon calls them, the bullet points. Make sure you talk about the benefits of the product. Some sellers out there still talk about all the features, what's the wattage of it, how long it's going to run, what the different temperature is. Talk about what people want. This seller's doing a pretty good job. They're talking about it can be for a family gift. You're looking for a gift. That is a benefit of this. This is the perfect product that you can use as a gift. Talk about all the ways that it's going to make their life easier, make their life better. We always start off that way. We don't think about the features. We think about how it's going to improve the lives of our customers. And that's where you can create the best bullet points that's going to create a listing that really sells your product. Now, once you've created a great listing like this person has, the next thing is to pick a single keyword that you want to dominate. Now, you notice we have these bricks here, and because this process is kind of like building a brick wall. You start off with just a single keyword that you're going to focus on. Once you do that, you focus on that, you get sales and get ranking on that keyword, you should get near the top of page 1 for that keyword. And then you'll start getting sales for that. And once you've done that, you start ranking for more keywords. You just repeat that process over and over. You start with the keywords that are longer and you move your way up like we showed you in the previous example. Now, how do you pick the first keyword to start with? Well, Amazon, again, helps us pick this out here. Here again is foot spa massager. Now, that's only 3 words. And so some of the best keywords to start off with are those that are anywhere from 4 to 7 words in length. Depends on how many different, words you'll see out there for a particular product. It varies by product, but pick one that's 4 to 7 keywords in length, and you'll find you have little competition and you'll find it easier to rank with that one. So in this case down here, foot spa massager is going to have a lot of competition. We'd probably go down there and pick this one right here, foot spa massager with heat and jets. Now it is 7 words long, but it's also showing up as one of the top suggestions for Amazon. It's not down here, it's up here. That tells me there's a decent number of people searching for that, and it's also a longer keyword, so we know it's easier to rank for. If you see something down here that has like 12 words in it, just ignore it. I guarantee you there's not a lot of people going out there typing in foot spa massager with heat, foot spa bath massager with heat. It's probably just one of Amazon's data glitches or whatever. Focus on 4 to 7, something near the top, and you can't go wrong with that keyword. Once you rank for that keyword, then you're going to start ranking for others, as I'm going to show you here. So the best way to get ranked for a keyword is to create a coupon and offer a 20 to 30% launch discount. There's no reason to go any bigger for that when starting off. Then using a program inside of Amazon, it's built into it. Everyone gets access to it. When you set up your account, you'll get access to it as well. You use Amazon sponsored ads and you create a campaign that's simply an auto campaign. What auto campaign means is you tell them your product, you tell them your budget, and you tell them how much you want to spend per time everyone clicks on it, and Amazon takes it from there. They have more data than anyone on earth about customer buying habits, and they're going to use all that data, look at your product, and they're going to show your product to the right people that they know are going to want to purchase your product. The benefit of that is as you start selling and using this auto campaign, after a few weeks, Amazon's going to give you a report and tell you all of the search terms that people were typing in and looking for when buying your product. And once you know those search terms, you can start targeting those search terms, because during the launch, we're going to have you create your own Amazon sponsored ads. That's going to be a manual one where you're going to put in that one keyword that we just found. That one keyword is going to allow you to start really getting sales on it and to start moving you up in the rankings on that keyword. Later on, once you have some data a few weeks later, you can find out from the auto campaign the other keywords you're getting sales on, put those also into this manual campaign and start ranking for those keywords as well. Now, if you want to also, you can do some social media posting. Getting external traffic from Facebook or Twitter or YouTube is incredibly powerful, but it's unnecessary when starting off. If you're someone who likes to go out there and post on Facebook, sharing your product with your friends and family, go ahead and do it. Every few sales you get from Facebook or YouTube, it adds a lot of different ranking juice to your product. It's something easy to do. You don't got to overcomplicate it. Just make a simple post on your Facebook page, tell them you're launching a new product, give them a coupon, make them feel special. Even a couple sales will help you a lot on there. All you need to do then is run these campaigns for 1 to 2 weeks, and you will be ranking for that keyword you start off with. The day you go live without having any sales, you won't be anywhere to be found for that keyword. As soon as you start getting sales using Amazon's campaigns, you will start moving up in the ranks. And after a few weeks, you should be on page 1 for that keyword, where you're then start getting organic sales, sales that you're not paying any money for on these ads. And that's where things really take off, as you can start lowering your spend for that keyword and moving on to other keywords that you can get ranked on page 1 naturally as well. Now, one thing you may be concerned about, I know a lot of people are always concerned about this, is how do you get reviews for your product? Amazon, they kind of police the reviews, and thank goodness they did. It used to be 4 or 5 years ago that people are going out there and just kind of gaming the review system. Amazon realized that that is one of their biggest and most valuable pieces of their property, is how people have confidence in the reviews, and they cleaned it up. Now, the fear some people had was, okay, now we can't go out there and just give away all these free products and getting all these reviews. They were worried about it. There's still incredibly simple ways and authentic ways to get reviews. Here's one right here. Here's for a product from a keto snack. They simply put this little insert into the product, so every customer who buys it reads this. We think you're going to love our snacks and supplements as well. Visit our website to get a keto snack of your choice for free. Now, they're not asking for a review at all. They're simply giving value to their customer. And then when you go over to their site, they simply enter this information over here. And then after a while, you can go in there and then ask the customer if they like the product, and then start driving reviews for your product. You'll get enough people early on to give you reviews, especially if you're giving them additional value like this. Now, if you want to do it even easier, there's something that just came out about 2 months ago. Matt and I were talking about when it happened. We got online. I shared it with him. It's amazing Amazon came out with this, but we've already been testing it. This works awesome. This is a picture of an order screen for a product. And if you look right here, Amazon added something new. There's a button that simply says request a review. When you click that button on every single order, Amazon themselves are going to email the customer and ask them how they liked your product and attempt to get a review for you. We have found that using this button gets as many, if not more, than using those inserts we spend a lot of time building as well. So what I would do, let's do both. Let's double the number of reviews you get. But for starting out, don't even worry about creating an insert. Just use this button every couple of days. Go in after you're making sales, click it, and you'll start seeing the reviews come in. So let's recap these 5 steps now to launch your business. The first is to choose a platform to start selling on. Next, you want to create a list of all the product opportunities. Then you want to narrow it down. Then you want to pick the one that you're going to go for based upon the one that has the least competition, the best opportunity, and the profit margin you're looking for. And then you want to brand it. And once you finally narrowed it down to one product, you want to then launch it using the system that we just went through. Now, I know I've been talking for a long time going through these steps here. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of that part of the training here, but I want to go into the full list of 20 hot product opportunities and go through these now. We're also going to email you these. I'm going to get with Darrell after this call, make sure he has this in a PDF format. We'll give you a link to the product. We'll give you the name of the product, a picture of the product, all the details, even share with you the exact revenue it's making. So don't worry if you have to pay attention to all these. I'm going to go through these quickly just to show you how much potential. And this list, this took about 4 or 5 hours for us to come up with for 20 different products to vet and validate that they're great opportunities. So the first one is a 3D pen. It generates $1.9 million a year in revenue. These aren't profit numbers. These are revenue numbers annually. Keep in mind, if you want to do the math, typical profit from an Amazon product is about 25%. Next product is a clear storage box with a clip that does $2.6 million a year. A blackout eye mask does $1 million a year. Clear plastic drawer organizer, something simple and boring like that, does over $1 million a year. And then a maternity pillow does $1.3 million a year. Now, this number 6, a digital meat thermometer does $1 million a year. Teeth whitening strips does over $2 million a year. Adult protective underwear, $1.6 million. An expandable garden hose, the kind that once you run water through them, they start growing like a snake, over $1 million a year. And then a blood pressure monitor does over $3.3 million a year. Now, the natural pre-rolled rolling paper does $1.2 million a year. A stainless steel trash bin, a small one even, can do $1.1 million a year. Eyelash growth serum, $1.2 million a year. A kitchen knife sharpener does $1.1 million a year. And then a Bluetooth alarm clock does $1.1 million a year. And the final 5 products, a pet hair vacuum cleaner does over $2 million a year. A baby monitor can do $1.5 million a year. A USB charging station does $1.3 million a year. A wax warmer does $1 million a year. And then a water filter pitcher does $1.2 million a year. And those are just an incredibly small sampling of products that all of them are generating over $1 million a year. If you take, an average profit margin of 25%, that's going to be well over $250,000 a year in profit from just one of these particular products. Now, one of the things you want to think through is how do you get to making, let's say, $20,000 a month in profit as quickly as possible? Because getting to making $10,000 to $20,000 a month is great, but you want to know how long it's going to take to get there. So we're going to walk you through a 12-month roadmap or a blueprint of how this business can work. And everything to go through is incredibly realistic if you're taking action and doing everything that we've taught you. So first, we'll go through months 1 through 3. First thing you want to do is set up your Sell Essential account. Then you want to do the research like we talked about and choose your product. Then you want to pick your brand name and get your basic logo created. And then you want to place your first inventory order. And then you want to launch your product on Amazon once the product comes in. And through 3 months, it's very realistic. You can take a couple of weeks to get your product picked out. Usually takes about 30 days to have a product made. And then even if you go ocean shipping, 30 to 40 days to have a product shipped in. Now, months 4 to 6, here's what it looks like. You will sell out of your inventory at a profit. That's the goal for months 4 to 6. This happens to every single person. We see it, everyone who goes through and builds this business. You are stressed out the first couple of days, wondering when the sales are going to come in. Then as the sales come in, you start seeing them go quicker and quicker. You start stressing out because you're worried you're going to run out of inventory. I'm here to tell you that's okay. If you have a product that's selling at a profit and you're running out of inventory, that's a very good problem to have. We can worry about not running out of inventory later on. You just want to make sure you pick the right product, generating a profit that has a lot of demand. Once you realize that you're running out of inventory, you take that profit and you order more inventory. Then while that's happening, you want to focus on getting reviews from your initial customers. And that can be as simple as clicking the button like I showed you. Then once your product is back in stock, you relaunch it again. Now, you will lose some of your keyword ranking. That's the way the world works. I'm not going to lie to you. You'll lose some of that ranking. Once you have your product back in inventory, it'll immediately start getting some of that ranking back. And then in order to get the ranking you had before, you want to go through a relaunch of it. It does not have to be as big of a launch. You can probably do it for a shorter amount of time, but you want to create some coupons. You want to run those campaigns. And at this point, all you need to do is turn those Amazon sponsor campaigns back on. You don't got to set them up again. They're already there. You just turn them back on, and then you'll move back up in the rankings again. That's what you do for the first 6 months of getting your brand and business built. Now, Think about Warren Buffett, one of the most well-known investors, most richest men in the world, how he built his business. There's an autobiography he wrote many years ago called Snowball, and he talked about when he was 17 years old, how he wanted to start his own business with a friend. So they decided to buy a pinball machine. They put the pinball machine in a restaurant and bar, and it started making sales immediately. They didn't take that money, they didn't spend it. They took the profits from that one pinball machine, and then they bought another pinball machine. Then they let them sit there and generate more sales as people put quarters in. As both those pinball machines were generating profits, they took the profits from both of those, and then they bought 2 more to have a total of 4 pinball machines. Now, this is 60, 70 years ago. After 1 year, they were able to sell their small pinball machine business as 17-year-olds for over $1,200. Doesn't sound like a lot of money right now, but I guarantee back then, for 2 kids that started buying 1 pinball machine, that was an incredible return on their investment. Now, the same holds true for this business model as well. In our world, though, you would launch 1 product. It could be the foot massager or something else. Once you sell out of your first inventory order, you order your second round of inventory. Once you get those profits in, then you launch a second product to double the amount of profits you're bringing in. This product right here, this is the tea tree oil. It's a foot soak. It goes with the first product perfectly. The people who bought your first product may already be buying a product just like this. So it's natural to launch this product. And if you want to find products that go along with your current brand of products, all you need to do is go to Amazon. Amazon tells you on every single product, frequently bought together products. That's all you need to do. Trust Amazon to tell you your next product, and you can't go wrong because you'll have immediate demand in sales when you launch your second product. Then once those 2 products have been selling, do what Warren did, launch 2 more products. And by that point, you have 4 products. And if these 4 products are generating profit like we taught you, and they're doing 6, 7 sales a day, at that point in time, you have a 6-figure a year in profit business. It's pretty incredible to think about. Now, let's go back and talk about the rest of the 12 months. In months 7 to 12, you want to use those products in the first product to launch more products like we talked about. You want to continue building reviews on all of those products. Reviews just build up over time. And when you get to having a couple hundred reviews, that product you have is an incredible, valuable asset in your business. You want to build a base of happy customers. So anytime you will have some customers have issues, we just take care of them every single time, make sure they're happy. And those are ambassadors for our company. Some of our customers have had a shipping issue. Once we've taken care of that for them, even though Amazon takes care of it for them, we sometimes come back and we take care of them and send them another free product, another new product we're launching. We now have the happiest customer on earth because they're not used to people doing that. And those people go out there, buy our products, and share it with everyone else. Then you want to use all those extra profits to fuel your dream lifestyle. That's what you can do after 12 months. And just imagine what it's like. You got these 4 products up and selling. You're on vacation on a beach. Maybe it's Bora Bora. Maybe it's somewhere in Costa Rica or wherever you choose you want to go to. But you wake up every morning and you check your Amazon sales. And I can tell you as an Amazon seller, I don't just check my sales in the morning. I check them throughout the day. It's addictive. And you will realize as soon as you start selling that you'll have the refresh syndrome where you're going to your Amazon account and you're refreshing throughout the day to see your increasing sales. And the beautiful thing about that is when you're having the freedom to live your life the way you want to, you do not have to do all the other things that other e-commerce businesses are doing. You don't have to worry about shipping out products, about taking care of products that are being returned to you, about dealing with any kind of credit card issues or payment issues. Amazon is taking care of all of that. You've built the brand, you've built the business, and you are able to have the lifestyle, the freedom, both financial and both time-wise, to do what you want. We know people that put in a couple hours a day. Some put in a couple hours a week just to keep their business going so that they can travel all over the world. I know a couple, Jessica and Steve Hansen. They now have a second home in Costa Rica because they wanted to have their kids experience what it's like to move to another country, experience another school system. They would never be able to do that if they weren't able to build the type of business that we just walked you through exactly how you can do it as yourself. It's an incredible type of lifestyle business, not just a financial business, but something that can truly give you more time than you can ever imagine. Now, instead of thinking about what's going to happen if you try this and you fail, I always like thinking about, well, what are you going to lose if you don't try this? Think about all the things that you could be missing out on. You could be missing out on building something that you're incredibly proud of, an asset, a business, something you can share with your family, your spouse, something you built that's completely your own. This type of business has one of the lowest barriers to entries that I've ever known and has some of the highest short-term profit potential to get going. And the long-term profit potential is incredible because you're building an asset you can sell as well. But if you don't do this right now, every day that you're not creating a brand, every day that you're not selling your products is a day you're missing out on sales, a day you're missing out on potential freedom down the road. It's a day you're missing out on building something you're proud of. It's a day you're missing out on maybe spending time with loved ones. That's why I always want people to think about what you're missing out on if you don't give this business a try. And to show you an example of that, here are two people that we know, Janice and Travis Ziegler. They're eye doctors. They've owned several different eye care facilities. They work 10, 12 hours a day. They loved what they were doing, but they were just driving themselves into the ground because they're working so hard to build up this physical business of managing employees, managing customers, dealing with customers every single day, managing their cash flow, their profits. They were going crazy, doing something that they had passion about, but not seeing a future for them that gave them the freedom to do anything else. They'd have to go in 6 days a week, putting in all these hours in order to have a chance at building the lifestyle that they were eventually wanted. However, they came across training similar to what you got right here, and they were able to build a business that was the dream business for them. You can see here, this is from 1 year, October of 2017 through October 2018. They generated over $3 million in sales. And once they were able to get to a level, even before this, they were able to sell their clinics, and now they're able to do what they want to do. They're able to have the freedom to travel wherever they want. And more importantly, they go to countries now and they give out free eye care to people. They help give exams to people who've never had an eye exam in their entire life. They help take care of people who are legally blind by giving them glasses they may never have access to before. They go all over the world in Africa and other small countries and able to help people the way that they could never do so before. They were limited to where they're at. They had physical locations they had to be at. They had the same clientele, which isn't a bad thing, but they were never able to reach the people that they wanted to really not only have the financial freedom they wanted, but to have a fulfilling life, helping all the people that they've always wanted to help, but they never had the freedom to help because they were tied down in a business that ran them instead of the other way around. Now, if you're worried still about you failing, let's go over all the things that you can avoid so that you don't have to fail. First, you want to make sure that the product has good profit potential. We talked about that several times because if you can't make profit, there's no point in building this business. You want to make sure that you have one that can make you a profit and a good living. You want to make sure that products have low competition so that when you're starting out, it's easy to get going. And you also make sure these products are easy to sell. Don't make things more difficult than they have to be. You also want to only sell high quality products. That's going to drive more reviews and more happy customers. And you want to launch and relaunch every new product. That way, even when you run out of inventory, your sales come back immediately and you're able to build that brand continuously, even if you ever get so many sales in that you run out. Then you want to also get someone to guide you. This is a very near and dear point to me because several years ago when I was building this business, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't just come up with this idea. I met Matt Clark. Matt taught me everything that I know about building this business. I was on a webinar very similar to this. I listened to this business model. I saw the potential in this. I saw how it all opened my eyes and just made sense. And then I was able to follow his training, his guidance in building a business just like this. If you're able to get someone to guide you, that is going to dramatically decrease any chances of you failing in this business. And everything that we just taught you right here, you just learned in this webinar, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. You know, icebergs have 90% of their mass is underwater. And even though that top part may seem really big and it is, what you have is incredibly powerful right now. It's not nearly as powerful as what we're able to also show you. So think about, which one of these might fit how you're feeling right now. You're tired of trading your time for money at some kind of 9-to-5 job. You want to spend more time with those that you love. That was absolutely the way I felt when I started this business. I was working all the time, traveling all the time, working in the evenings. I just didn't have any time for my family. Maybe you want more financial freedom so that you can do the things that you want with who you want to. And you don't want to be tied down to a physical location or an office. You want something that can give you the freedom to live and work wherever you want to be. You also want to be able to create a 6-figure profit business of your own, or maybe you just want to be really successful, that you feel like you could be successful if you just had the right help. You probably have at least one of these that kind of fit how you're feeling, and most likely even more of these. Now, in order to make sure that we could help and that we give you everything possible, we've come up with the 4 pillars to creating this business as rapidly as possible. The first is having a proven system to follow. The next is getting experts to get help from. You also want to make sure you have a great environment for success. We've all been there before, that if you're excited about something, you have a great idea, but no one around you has any passion for it. No one around you has the confidence that you can do it. It can be debilitating. So you want to make sure that you're surrounded by people that want to be successful like you. They always say that you are the average or the sum of those around you. You need an environment like that in order to be successful. And then you also need the right tools and resources. One thing that I've learned since building this business is that you can't scale, you can't grow unless you have tools and resources to help you do that. Doing things manually will get you there, but it'll take a really, really long time. Having tools and resources will make you get there much, much quicker. Now, we've put all 4 of these pillars into a program that we call Amazing Selling Machine. Amazing Selling Machine is a proven step-by-step program that helps you achieve your success as fast as possible. It'll save you thousands of hours, and it'll help you avoid making huge mistakes like getting your account shut down. It's going to help you build a profitable business faster and easier than ever. And it's going to give you inside access to me, to Matt, to all the mentors that we have as well, and other multi-million-dollar selling experts. It's going to help you create a valuable brand that you own forever. That's going to allow you to build cash and generate cash right now and an asset you can sell down the road. And it's going to help you achieve the dream life that you've always wanted. Now, one component is the step-by-step online web class. It has over 153 video lessons. It's made up of 8 different modules. That's 40 hours of content. It allows you to go your own pace because it's online. You can watch it anytime that you want. Doesn't matter what kind of hours you have. You can watch it anytime, anywhere. And it's also included easy to follow videos with us, not just talking on the videos, but showing you inside of accounts exactly how to do everything. And we also give you free updates for life on this, because if anything changes on Amazon and e-commerce, and it does, we want to make sure you have the latest information. And you can actually start using the online web class today. And we're going to show you how. Now, to do this, it's not just Matt and I. We've also brought in other experts. We have Dan and Rich here, who are both sold millions of dollars before on Amazon, and they are experts at teaching people how to build this business. Now, the web class is made up of 14 to 21 lessons per module. And each lesson module is going to build on what you learned and done before. We always want to make sure that you are able to take action when you're done with the lesson. Watch it, learn it, and then take action and actually make a step in building your business. So all along the process, you're actually building it, not just learning about how to build it. They include bonus welcome modules right away. So as soon as you get into it, we have a welcome module that has, I believe, 15 to 20 different lessons to get going right away to get you set up for success. And all along the process, you'll be earning badges that'll help you reward yourself and track your progress, both yourself and among the thousands of people building this business as well. Now, let me show you what's exactly in the modules. Modules 1 to 4 is going to show you the exact process, how to find your perfect product to sell. It's going to show you how to find high quality and low cost suppliers. It's going to help you create an irresistible brand that's going to stand out from even the biggest brands on Amazon. And it's going to help layer in your marketing foundation before you launch. So you'll know exactly what marketing is and how to utilize all the incredible tools in Amazon to do that. Now, modules 5 to 8, number 5 is going to help you craft a high converting product page. Similar to what we talked about, we're going to go into much more detail to show you what really grabs a customer's attention. It has a step-by-step successful product launch process in module 6, which is the most in-depth launch process we've ever built before. It gets the listings and ranking better than any other system we've had before. Module 7 covers all types of advanced marketing traffic tools that are all inside of Amazon. Amazon has, I believe, launched about 20 different marketing tools for sellers like us last year, and they continue to do that. And as they come out, we want to make sure that you have the latest and greatest information on how to use those. And then finally, in module 8, we're going to talk about scaling your business in order to build your dream life. And when we talk about scaling, a big part of that is being able to build a team to run your business for you, because you don't want to just build a job that you exchange from one job and go to another one. You're working 8 to 10 hours a day. It's all about building a dream lifestyle, because in just a few hours a day going through the lessons, you can build this business. And then in a few hours a day while you have your business, you can also run this business. Now, in addition to the web class, we also have the mentor program. It consists of 21 real experts, not just people who think they know the business. They're people who really run their own businesses. Their average sales is $1.8 million. They're available 24/7. And by that, we have mentors all over the world. We have some in the United States, some in Europe, some in Australia, some in South America, some in New Zealand. Anywhere you're at, no matter what time zone, there's someone online browsing through the community, making sure that people's questions are getting answered. They're going to help you push through any type of obstacles you might come up against. And they're also going to help you speed up your success. And that means you're going to avoid any major mistakes in this business. Now, as an example, this is a screenshot from one of our mentors who's done over $3 million of sales in their business. So it's not just people, again, who just done a little bit of business and resolved to teaching. These people run their own successful businesses. Now, in addition to the mentor program, you're also going to get access to the private community. This has over 25,000 active members. Each week, there's over 5,425 interactions. That's people asking questions and giving answers. We have people from 138 different countries active inside of there. We have 7-figure sellers in there. They're going to help you motivate and inspire you to build your business. And they're going to help you be accountable as well. If you ever feel like you're just not doing what you should be doing, all you need to do is hop in the community, and you will not only be motivated, you'll have people willing to help you make sure that you're taking the next steps towards building your business. Now, we also have something called the Private Resource Vault. And the Private Resource Vault is our private collection of tools and services that we've used to build our own businesses. In there, you're going to find our own contacts for different businesses that we've used in the past. We have over 44 different resources that are tools and software and companies. It's worth over $10,000 if you were to go out there and find these yourself. And for example, we have an expert freight forwarder. This is a freight forwarder that I've been with for years, and I've shared with so many people inside our private community. And if you want to go out there and you find your product and you're worried, like, how do I get my product from my manufacturer Amazon? Log in to ASM, go to the Private Resource Vault, pull up our list of freight forwarders, and any one of them that you choose, and we have several to choose from, we'll be able to take care of you and get your product all the way from your supplier to Amazon and take care of all the paperwork. Now, we also have such things as top product photographers, videographers, marketing experts as well, and there's a ton more inside the Private Resource Vault. We've been curating and collecting this for the past 7-8 years, and you get the benefit of all that, and we continue to add to it as well. Now, we have a special bonus also, and this is our own proprietary software tool suite. Now, this is an exclusive deal that's only put together for ASM members because we actually invested in the company that built these tools for you. In there, you're going to find a tool that's going to help you find the products quicker than ever. We went through a lot of it today manually. There's a tool inside here that helps you do it and cut down the time on doing that. It's also going to have as a keyword research tool that's going to help you find the perfect keywords for your product. As a matter of fact, if you look at this screen over here to the right, not only will you see the tool in use for finding these different products, there's a similar tool that with one click will immediately take you over to the tool that's going to find all the right keywords for that product. Now, also, you get to track all the keywords because one of the things you want to do in this business is make sure you're ranking on page 1 for all the product keywords you want to rank for. We give you unlimited keyword tracking, and we also automate the customer emails. So instead of you going out there and manually responding to every single customer and thanking them, this completely automates it. You set it up once, and every time a product is sold, these emails go out like clockwork. Now, you get this entire software tool suite 100% free for an entire year. And we mentioned that this deal is only exclusive to ASM. It is. And we even have an exclusive deal afterwards, because even though this tool might cost somewhere near $4,000 to use, we've negotiated it so even after you're done with the free tool, it's only going to be about $40 a month for you after a full year of using this. That's the value of getting into ASM and taking advantage of the exclusive offer we put together. So to recap the program for success, you get the online web class, you get the mentor program with 21 different mentors. You get access to the private community full of 25,000 different people. You get access to the Private Resource Vault, and you get the seller software tool suite as well. Now, if we add up the value of these, the online web class is worth at least $4,000. The mentor program, $2,497. The private access to the private community where you can ask questions 24/7, $997. The Private Resource Vault is at least $1,497 to get access to it. And then the seller software tool suite, another $1,297 if you pay for it yourself. That's a total value of over $10,000 you get becoming an ASM member. But even though this is an incredible monetary value, the real value we get is so much more than that. You're going to learn the exact process to build a 6-figure profit business. You're going to be able to create a brand with a $1 to $3 million a year opportunity. You're going to learn a systematic replicable process to go as big as you want. We talked about taking one product and launching 2 and then 4 and then 8. We're going to walk through that whole process, including how to manage your cash and how to do that so that it meets your goals and whatever your revenue and profit goal is. It's going to be a program that we personally have invested $2 million per year to continue to make sure it's the absolute best and most productive and most successful course ever. And it's most importantly, this opportunity is going to give you the opportunity of building a lifetime of freedom, freedom financially, freedom to live wherever you want, freedom the time to do whatever you want. Now, your investment to become a member of ASM and get access to everything that I just went through is only one payment of $4,997. Or tonight, and we very seldom ever do this, we're also going to allow you to get in for only $497 per month for just 12 easy payments. You can go and join ASM, and as soon as you sign up, you'll get access to what we just talked about and went through here and start building your business today. Now, if you need some kind of proof of the success we have, let me show you a few of these. Here's Boris right here, who in 30 days sold over $40,000. And he's in our Facebook community sharing his results with everyone else on there. You can see just how happy everyone is sharing the results with everyone else. This here is Danielle Paul, who did over 329 pounds in a 1-year period. And there's another member who sold almost $6,000 in a single day. And then here is Paul Nicole, who did $127,000 in a single month, all within his first year of selling his products on Amazon. Now, in order to make sure that you have everything you need, including all the confidence you need that you can do this business, we also offer 2 different risk-free guarantees. The first one is a 30-day guarantee. By this, we mean that you get to try out everything completely. It's unconditional. There's no catches to this. Try out everything inside of ASM. You can watch the lessons. You can get help from the mentors. You can use the resources, the online resource vault. You can go into the community. It's 100% covered. All you need to do, if you still find out that after 30 days, this is not the right business for you, simply send us an email and we refund you everything that you spent on ASM. But we also know that you cannot build this business in 30 days. We've given you a roadmap for building multiple products and building an entire brand and a 6-figure income in 12 months. But within 30 days, you will not have most likely built your business yet. So we want to go do something that we, again, very seldom do. And we call this the success agreement. This makes this offer in this program practically failure proof. And by this, we're going to allow you to try out ASM for a full 6 months. All the way want you to do is the following things. Find and launch a new product within 4 months. You could do this easy within 2, 3, 4 months, but we're saying all the way up to 4 months, all you need to do is launch your new product. Then we want to use the marketing that we're going to walk you through all the way through ASM for a full month to give this business a full shot. We want to make sure that you really try your brand and your product, launch it the way we're telling you to, because that way you're going to see all of the success that's possible for you. And if still, even after that amount of time, within 6 months, you realize this isn't the business for you, again, we will give you a full 100% refund. But in addition to that, we realize you may have this fear of, that's great, Mike, that I get to do this for 6 months, but at that point in time, I may be sitting on a bunch of inventory that I can't sell. Well, if that's the case, after 6 months, we're going to reimburse you up to $5,000 for any inventory that you have left over. So all you need to do is contact us within 6 months. We need to make sure that you launch your product within 4 months. You did the marketing we told you. And if this isn't for you, you can get a full refund. Plus, we'll reimburse you for up to $5,000 of any inventory that you have left over. We do not make this offer available very often because, as you can imagine, this puts all the risk on us. We have had people take us up on this. We've had people who built their businesses, launched their products. They've actually had some success on it, but they just realized this wasn't for them. And we were happy to refund them, to buy back their inventory, because that's what we committed to. That's what we wanted. We're happy to have as many people as possible try this business, because we're confident that the vast majority of people who try this business and see the results that we know you can see are going to love this business and are going to never want to go back. Now, in addition to what you see here, everything, the 5 components of ASM, the 30-day guarantee, and also the 6-month success agreement, we're also doing something special only for this webinar. And this particular offer only for the people on this webinar right now. Now, in an e-commerce business, like when we're talking about, your inventory is an investment. It's not an expense. It's money you put into your business that you're going to be getting back out of it. You buy your inventory at a low price, you sell it at a high price. The difference, and minus whatever fees you have, is your profit. Now, the primary cash outlay in this business, it's going to be inventory. And that's going to be what it is all throughout this business. However, we know that. We've been there. We've all had to invest in our own inventory starting out. So we don't want to let that hold you back from starting this business. So when you join ASM during this live webinar, before we're done here, we're going to reimburse you for up your first $1,000 inventory investment in inventory. All you need to do is order the inventory within the first 60 days, the first full 8 weeks of the program. You send us the invoice that you have, and we're going to pay you back for up to $1,000 of your inventory. Now, we can only offer this on the live webinar because, again, this is pure cash out of our pocket. We're investing in your business. So we keep this available only for a limited amount of time, limited number of people. So this offer will be going away after this webinar is over. So now, in order to grab your spot now, all you need to do is go to asmnow.com/simpler before the webinar is over. You'll go there, you'll see a secure registration form. You enter your details in there. And then as soon as you enter that and choose the payment option, you'll get an email back with your private login details. Then we want you to log into membership and start building your future. And also go out there, introduce yourself, and you'll be meeting thousands of the people who are on the exact same journey. And all of us at Amazing, Matt, myself, Jason, John, who's helping us and gracious enough to have us on this webinar, we're all behind you. We all want you to be success. That's why we put in all these different guarantees to limit your risk, to put the risk on us, because we know how incredible this business is. And we are all behind your back, including us, the mentors, and all the members as well. So in order to get this offer, go to asmnow.com/simpler. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is great. I'm nervous. I still have all these fears. So what if I just wait? What is going to happen to me if I wait? Well, one thing is, time is the one resource that is limited for everyone. You can never get any more time to your life. It's a finite value, and you can't recover any lost time. And the last thing you want to have is a list of should haves. I should have done this. I should have done that. And time, that if you don't build the business and the dream of your dreams, then that's time you're not spending with those you love. You're stuck in the 9-to-5 job, or maybe you're not working anything else right now. You just don't know if this is right for you. You're stuck looking for the next opportunity. This is the right opportunity. And if you miss out on this, you're missing out on all different kinds of adventures and opportunities. This business has opened up so many doors. I never in my life would have thought that I got to meet and share the stage with Richard Branson. Never in my entire life thought that I'd be meeting and hanging out with Robert Kiyosaki 2 or 3 different times. It's an unbelievable business that's opened up so many doors and possibilities for me, and I don't want to see anyone else miss out on this opportunity. Now, remember, this is a one-time bonus. The ability to pay for this over 12 months, the ability to get the $1,000 back in your inventory is only available on this live webinar, so we don't want to see anyone miss out. Now, to help share a little bit about what this business can do, we want to share a real story. This is David and Leah Cups. They're a couple who started this business. They only had less than $500 in inventory when they started this out, but they were able to build a business and sell it for multiple millions of dollars in a very short amount of time. I'm going to play this. Hopefully the sound's going to come through. It's a little muffled. I apologize. But let's try to hear in their words how this business worked out for them.
For us, this was life-changing. What it did.
Hey, Mike, I don't think we can hear that. You may need to either turn the volume up, or I'm not really sure.
Okay.
We're unable to test.
Not working too well for everyone. All right, so Lee and David Cups, I'm going to put it up here against the microphone. Hopefully this is going to work for everyone here, but let's see what happens here.
For us, this was life-changing. What it did, the biggest priority for us was to spend more family time. So I think that's what's most valuable, is spending that time together. And I was gone like 4 nights a week or whatever in sales, and I'd get home and we have 2 small kids, a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old now, but they were smaller then. And they'd be like, they would change. It'd be so different. I was missing out on so much. And so that's what we called Operation Bring Daddy Home. So the fact that we're able to spend unlimited time together as a family, and
because of just something you put up on YouTube.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not only life-changing for us. That's going to be life-changing for them, and all that quality time that we get to make memories together and stuff. So that's why we wanted to make sure that you knew how much we appreciated it, because this isn't just like a side thing for us. This was really life-changing for us, and plus allows us to leave a legacy, for our kids and on down the line.
So when we say, it changed our lives, it's not like some cheesy line. Like it really did. Like the idea that you put together initially years ago of private labeling products and selling them on Amazon, the idea that you put out there, that we followed, like it gave us an opportunity, and it is just that, it's an opportunity. It's not like guaranteed. It's not a get rich quick scam. Yeah. But sometimes in life, if you're open and you're searching and looking to achieve like a bigger goal, you're just looking for an opportunity. And I feel like for us, it was the opportunity, that we were waiting for.
All right, sorry for that slight technical glitch here. I'm going to pull this back up over here so I can move my notes around. All right, so Lee and David Cups are an incredible couple. We had a chance to interview and meet them several times. They're just one example of many of out there. We talked about also, it was Travis and Jenna Ziegler. There's, hundreds, not thousands of other examples out here. They've really been able to change their lives and build not only a cash flow, a great cash creating business, but build an asset that they're able to sell later on down the road and a truly life-changing business for them. So inside of ASM, again, remember, you're gonna get everything that you need to succeed. We're going to give you the online web class. You're going to get access to the mentor program, you get access to the private community, access to our own private resource vault, and you're also going to get the software tool suite with a special ASM only special deal that we've worked out on your behalf. And then you're also going to get free updates for life. For the program, you get access to the 30-day guarantee. So no matter what, after 30 days, if you realize this isn't for you, simply email us. You can get a full refund. And what we very seldom also do, the 6-month success agreement to put all the risk on us. And then finally, on tonight's webinar, we're making available the $1,000 inventory reimbursement for you that you'll get access to, but only on the webinar tonight. The total value of everything you're getting access to tonight is $23,282. And again, you can get in ASM for $4,997 or $497 gets you in tonight and starting building your business tonight. Now, I know we're also going to go and do some Q&A here. So I wanted to bring John and Matt back on. I'm going to take a drink of water. I'll leave the screen up right here, and then hopefully we can answer as many questions as possible.
Yeah, no, sure, Mike. I mean, first of all, thanks for taking everybody through that. And obviously, if you guys have specific questions about this, I'll turn this over to Matt as well, because he'll be able to answer that. But I'll just kind of say a few things. And I think you guys know, like, we don't really do this. Like, we don't partner up with other businesses and say, hey, come show us what you're doing. So, that we're doing this is just for a couple of reasons. Is one, it is something that I've seen. First of all, I know these guys, so like if anybody has a problem with them, like I know where they live, right? So just let me know. So I don't feel comfortable sharing something like this or to you guys if I don't really know who the people are behind it and that they're actually doing good stuff. And so that's important to me. And so because we don't really do this with other things like that. And the other thing is I know from a trading perspective, especially people starting out, it's always it's always about managing that income. And and again, something like this isn't for everyone. I totally get it. But if you're for some folks, it's like, okay, I'm at home anyway, and I'd like, if I could make a couple extra $1,000s a month, it would just take a little bit of pressure off. And so if something like this is appealing, then these guys are legitimate in terms of being able to show you how to do it. So that's just kind of the thing there. And like I said, this is not something where it's, these guys emailed, said, hey, we'd like to present to your group. Like, oh, sure, no problem. No, I mean, we get that all the time, and I always say no. So that's just, again, just to kind of reassure you that this is not a scam. I know people who are doing this. It's working out for them. I've gone through the course. I think it's pretty fascinating. Obviously, my first love is trading, but I also want to expose my kids to a lot of different opportunities. So who knows what they're going to be interested in. So, they kind of like doing stuff like that as well. So that's just it. So I just want to kind of give my reassurance that this is not, again, this is not some kind of fly-by-night thing. I know these guys. If you guys have any problems, with them, let us know. I feel a responsibility to make sure with that. And like I said, I know these guys enough that I know they'll take care of you. So just kind of wanted to pass that along. And then, and again, if you guys have specific questions about the program, certainly I'll turn this back over to Mike and Matt. But otherwise, hope you guys found it interesting. Whatever you decide to do with it. And then, kind of go from there. So you guys have a good night. We'll see if the markets can continue working lower tonight, and see what tomorrow brings.
Awesome. Thanks, John. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, like been writing a ton of questions down. So I've been paying lots of close attention. I've been answering some of them through chat. So we've got some of them written down, and some of these are really good questions that if you're interested in building this kind of business or really any business, that you probably want to know the answer to some of these. So first question I see here is, what's the investment to get started in this business? Big question people want to know because, some businesses are crazy out there, in my opinion. Things like franchises where you may be like $250,000, $1 million out the door, and people are loading up on debt and that kind of thing just to go start a business, something they've never done before. And so our goal with this program was to make it as affordable as possible, but not limit yourself by building a business that's, at maximum is going to make you like $500 a month or something. We wanted this to be a thing that has significant upside. So with that, when we've asked members and we've done our own products and all that sort of stuff, Mike himself, he started with about $500 in inventory and built a multi-million-dollar business. You saw David and Leah Cups, the little video that we played there. They started with about $500, but that's probably on the lower side. We typically like people to be able to put in at least a couple $1,000s, and pretty much all of that is in inventory. And like I said at the beginning, inventory is an asset in this business. Whenever you're putting money in inventory, it's not just like an expense that's kind of like, oh, okay, I'll make money a different way in this business, but this is just part of getting started. The whole point of buying inventory is so you can resell it at a profit. So that's the primary expense in this business. We like people to have, a couple $1,000s, but when we've surveyed our members and asked them how much they put into their initial product, on average, I believe the answer was about $1,200. So they started with about $1,200 in inventory. And the whole point of that 12-month plan that Mike went over with you was so that you're not having to continually dump cash into the business. If you do things right and you follow all the things that you learned in this webinar, and even more so inside of our program, Amazing Selling Machine, you should be able to make a profit on every single inventory order and not have to put more money into the business. That means your first inventory order funds your next inventory order, funds your next inventory order. And whenever you have enough excess profits, that allows you to kind of fund more and more products, like Mike showed you, kind of giving the analogy with Warren Buffett's pinball machine business, is that your product should be funding the growth of the business. You shouldn't have to go out there and put a bunch more cash in there or raise debt or any of that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, we like people to be able to put in a couple $1,000s worth of inventory, gives you more options, more products to choose from, allows you to grow your business faster. So that's what we've seen. But we have had people that have started with as little as $500 in inventory. Next big question that I saw is, multiple people were asking, so I'm sort of summarizing a little bit. And some people were asking, is this business still viable today? Is selling on Amazon still a good thing today? Because maybe you've watched the space, or maybe you've just watched Amazon's growth over the past 20 plus years. There's, according to some numbers, a couple million sellers on Amazon. So the way I see it is that, about half of Amazon sales are from people like us, just regular people out there selling stuff on Amazon. The other half is Amazon selling their own stuff, their own products, their own services, all that sort of thing. Last year, Amazon produced an extra $47 billion in sales versus 2018. So if you do the math, about $25 billion in extra sales went to people just like us selling stuff on Amazon. So Amazon keeps growing like crazy, and like anything, that's going to invite more and more people to sell on there. But that's our job with this training, selling machine, and everything else, is to make sure we stay ahead of everyone else when it comes to figuring out how to beat out everyone else in this business. So hopefully that helps. Mike, you come back on?
Yeah, sure, Matt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so one of the questions,
go for it.
I think it was John still on a little bit, but yeah, I'm back now.
Okay,
one of the questions I was seeing here also is realistically, how long will it take to get your first product up and live? And then how long will it take also to start generating a profit? We kind of talked a little bit about that in here. And if you walk through the 12-month roadmap we have, that walks you through there, but there's also ways to get going even quicker. One of the things you could look to do is to sell a product that's sourced inside the United States. If you live inside the United States, you could find a product sourced here probably within a couple of weeks. And then usually products that are sourced here are in, they're supplements, they're beauty products. They're already packaged. All you need to do is put a label on it. You could have one of those products selling then within another 2 or 3 weeks. So it's possible to have products selling as little as 4 to 6 weeks. Realistically though, it takes usually people about 90 days or so in order to make sure that they have their product up and selling on Amazon. That's why for the inventory reimbursement, we just want to make sure you have it ordered in the first 60 days. We realize that not everyone's going to go in there, not going to join ASM this moment, go find their product tomorrow, place their order the next day, and then have it selling up another 60 days. We just want to make sure you have that product ordered. So realistically, you should have your product up and selling somewhere around 3 to 4 months. And then that first order, you should be able to also produce a profit with it. Now, with that profit, we recommend you take that profit and invest it in your next order of inventory. And then usually it's about on that second, third inventory order, that reorder, that's when you're able to have more profit that you can then decide what you want to do. Do you want to increase more inventory on that one product? Do you want to launch another product? Or do you want to start taking some of that business out the money out of the business yourself. So realistically, you can be up and running quickly within 4 to 6 weeks if you want to. That's not going to be the case for most people. You're going to want to take your time, probably order something manufactured overseas. So you're looking about 90 days to 120 days to end up and selling. And then after your first inventory order, you'll be making profit off selling that, but it's going to be down the road. Probably within 12 months, you'll be able to actually start taking money out if you want to, or really purchasing more products and building your brand like we talked about. It's going to depend upon you, how fast you want to work, but you completely go at your own pace. Go as fast as you want, take your time as much as you want. The course isn't going anywhere, and we'll be updating it the entire time. The mentor's there to help answer questions. I'm there to help answer questions. We're all there behind you, helping as much as possible.
Cool. And then, yeah, we've got some new questions popping in here. MW just posted, said sold and purchased and ready to roll. Awesome to have you in Amazing Selling Machine. So one of the questions I wanted actually you to cover, Mike, is, some people are asking you, we get this a lot, is, if you can kind of run this business from anywhere with just a laptop, even though it's a physical products business, inevitably some people are going to want to return products, refund products. So how does that whole process work when you're using FBA for you, Mike?
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about it. The only thing I have to do is read an email, because I get notifications the few times that it happens, because Amazon takes care of all of that. If you're selling on your own website and you're shipping the products and receiving any kind of returns, you do all that. And that is a pain. On Amazon, they take care of all that. It happens in the background. So if a customer wants to return a product, they don't contact me. They don't send me an email. They simply contact Amazon. I don't even hear about it until after the fact. And then Amazon allows them to return the product. They put that product back into inventory after checking to make sure it works. They then refund you anything that, make sure the product's back there, that they refund your inventory to make sure you have that other product to sell again. And then Amazon also either sends them out a new product, or they simply reimburse the customer. All that takes place in the background. The only thing that I get notices about is that I'll get a notification every once in a while that says we've processed a refund. And I know that a customer got their money back because they didn't like the product. And then I have that product back in my inventory so I can sell it to another customer. I never have to deal with any of the refunds, returns, or anything like you would in a traditional e-commerce business where you're doing all the fulfillment yourself.
Cool. And then Chris ATL here says, is this a one-time fee for the program or is it annual? So it is just a one-time fee. And so we took the stance a long time ago that we wanted to make sure that people always had up-to-date training. And for us, it's like, we've talked with so many members face-to-face, and I've talked with some that have had like, terrible sort of life situations happen, a family member gets sick and that kind of thing. And they signed up for ASM, but they couldn't actually get started for 6 months or a year later. And it just never felt right for us anyways, which, nothing against anybody else who does this, but for us, it just never really made sense to charge people like a fee for every new version, because stuff in this business does change a lot. So yeah, so that's part of that top right thing you see on the screen about free updates, is it is just a one-time fee. And then whenever we roll out a new version of Amazing Selling Machine, which we're constantly updating stuff, but we do roll out a completely new version about once a year, just because it kind of helps keep the entire training fresh and clean. You do get free access to that if you're a past member of Amazing Selling Machine.
Now I see Nick is asking a question, and this is very near and dear to me because I've been in communication with my manufacturer about this. It's how is the coronavirus impacting shipping of products to get back and resupply? So that's been on all of our minds. I'm in constant contact with our supplier on this, and just got word that the manufacturing plant is fully operational for us as of March 1st, and that my actual agents who are on the ground kind of making sure everything gets handled, they're already back to work. Now, the way this is happening over China is that certain regions are going back to work now, and they're kind of phasing it in how many people are actually moving back to the plants and working. They don't want, 20, 50 million people all migrating at the exact same time. So they're spacing it out a little bit. So the net result to me is I'll have had a delay in my shipments about 3 to 4 weeks in total. Now, given what this could have been, and given what you've been hearing on the news, that is nowhere near as bad as what people thought it might be. And, a lot of us who are in this and being a part of the community, we were talking about this as was happening. So us and ASM and Amazing Selling Machine, we kind of saw some issues happening potentially. And if you're in the know, you ordered a little more inventory, which is what we did. So we're not out of inventory because we kind of knew this was happening. It's part of the value of the community. The mentors and us got together and kind of talked about it to give the right guidance and knew there might be a delay. And luckily we're seeing the end of that right now. So net result for us was 3 to 4 weeks. Could have been longer, but it's nowhere near as bad as what people thought it might be. And Matt, I got a question for you. Nick also asked how this compares to drop shipping.
Yeah, the good one. Yeah, so I saw that one there. Yeah, so we've, a lot of people that they've sort of followed the e-commerce world, they've heard a lot of these different kind of terms thrown around. One of them is drop shipping, and so that's actually kind of was my first business. And so what that typically refers to is, you set up a store, for example, or maybe you're selling something on Amazon. Somebody orders something from you, but you don't actually have any inventory. You just basically take that customer's name and shipping info, send it over to a manufacturer, and they ship out a finished unit to the customer. And so it sounds great in theory because you can sell stuff, but you don't actually have to buy it ahead of time. The customer kind of pays you first. So it sounds good from a cash flow perspective, but it's actually not a business I would recommend getting into. And there's a reason I got out of it as fast as I could as soon as I figured out a different way to do it, is because you never own the brand. And that's the real asset in this business. You're basically selling the exact same thing as somebody else's brand. That's going to tell you how to price the product, how to discount the product, where you can sell it, where you can't sell it, and everything about it, because it's they're the ones who own the brand, you don't. And the other problem too is, we want you to build a business that is actually worth something, that's a real asset. And so that's typically comes from the brand. And what we see in this business from different brokerage relationships that we have that are involved in selling hundreds of thousands of these kind of e-commerce businesses every year is that for a business that owns the brand, a typical multiple is 3 to 5 times annual profits. So if you have a business that does 100 grand a year in profit, then that business can be worth on a cash basis 300 to 500 grand. Or if you have a business that does $1 million a year in profit, then that business can be worth $3 to $5 million. If you were to go out there and sell it, and we have had members that have done that, but that's only possible if you own the brand. And based on the stuff you learned, even in this webinar, not even including the stuff we have inside of Amazing Selling Machine, you've seen how easy it is to create your own brand of just about any product out there. To me, there's no reason whatsoever to settle for selling somebody else's brand, which is what drop shipping is typically all about.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Let's see. Another question we always get on here is, what about the increased tariffs? Those have been something that have been in play now for almost close to a year. And one of the things that you want to do is when you're going through the whole discovery process and picking your product, you absolutely want to look at not only what are the current tariff rates right now, you also make sure you know what those tariff rates are most likely going to go down to. So now when we're picking new products, if I see something that might have an additional 15% tariff on it, it's not going to immediately exclude it from me. What I'm going to do is make sure I can still make a profit. Like, I absolutely want to still make a profit off of a product that's getting hit by increased tariffs. But I also want to know that once this is all resolved, and I can tell you, like, people in the know realize that at some point, this trade war is going to have to be resolved. It doesn't benefit either us, doesn't benefit China. It's a negotiation tactic that people are trying, both sides are trying to get what they want. We've made some strides a couple times already. Eventually, it will get resolved. And the reason I mention this is because I also want to know, what is the automatic increase in profit I'm going to have once the tariffs go back down to where they were? Because to me, that's a pure increase in profit. If I can make sure that by knowing all the math, using the spreadsheets and the tools that we have available to really narrow down the right products, if I'm still making a profit right now when choosing that product, then it's pure additional cash and profit for me once the tariffs go back down, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. That's just more benefit to myself. Also, keep in mind that tariffs, they're off of the cost of the product that you pay your manufacturer. They're not off of what you sell it for on Amazon. So in the example we gave today of the water foot massager, it may sell on Amazon for $62, but the price you pay for that product from supplier is $12.50. So even if it were a 25% tariff, a really high one, that's only going to be about $3.50 to $4 bucks that you're paying in the additional tariff, rather than 25% of that $60 price. It is not nearly as much as what people immediately think. You naturally think about the selling price on Amazon when it's really off of the price you're paying, which is generally pretty low. And for us, we have not had to stop selling any products because of increased tariffs. We've already factored in, we get anywhere from 25 to 45% profit margins as it is. So for a short period of time, ours will go down a little bit, and I know they're going to come right back up once it all gets resolved. So if that's what you're concerned with, if that's holding you back, absolutely don't let that get in. Take advantage of the inventory offer, especially find your product. And if you can't within 30 days, you realize, you know what, I just can't find a product that has the right profit margin. I've looked at the tariffs, I've done the calculations, it's not for me, then no harm, no foul. Then you can simply, refund, get back out of it. I don't think that'll happen. I think that once you find your product and see the potential, and once you come up with your brand idea, once you come up with your logo, once you realize you're going to really build this business and sell it, you will not want to give up this business. It's addictive. It's pretty much all that we talk about all the time when the mentors and I get together, and when the members and us get together at one of our live events. Everyone's addicted to this business because it's not only something that is incredibly profitable, gives you lots of free time, gives you lots of freedom. It's something that you just love doing. It's unlike any other business I've been involved in, and it's something that has changed my life completely.
Cool. I want to cover a couple quick questions. So one of them is from Viking. This one may not be a super quick one, but the other one should be. From Viking is, what's the difference between Amazon and Shopify in terms of reselling products? You know, Mike, one of the things that he mentioned early on in the presentation was there are multiple platforms you can sell on. You kind of need to pick one to start off with. One of them is Shopify. Another one is Amazon, is the one that we recommend. So Shopify is fantastic. I mean, Shopify, if people aren't familiar with it, if you haven't done this kind of thing before, is really just a platform used to sell products on your own website. It's just your online shopping cart software, basically. And it's fantastic. It's the best shopping cart software out there if you're going to sell products on your own website and not in a marketplace like Amazon. However, and then, you know, I'm a big fan of Shopify. I have an e-commerce business myself that sells on Shopify, that we're growing like crazy, 20-40% month over month, 33 times last year. However, if you're just getting started in marketing and e-commerce and that kind of thing, selling stuff online, Amazon is likely going to be way easier for you because you really just have to pick the right product and get ranked for keywords. On Shopify, for example, if you're going to build a whole sales channel only on your own website without leveraging a marketplace with hundreds of millions of customers like Amazon, you've got to find a way to get in front of people and convince them to buy your product that they've never heard of before. The only reason we're able to do that is because my business partner and I in that business, we've got, you know, 20 plus years combined direct marketing experience. Like, we know sales funnels, Facebook ads, we know conversion optimization, average order value optimization, all that kind of stuff, which is great and fantastic. And there's a time and a place for that. But if you're just getting started, Amazon's going to be way easier for you. And your goal is to get up and making money as quickly as possible, not to learn 17 new skills just to make a new business work. The cool thing is that later on, you can take what you've done on Amazon because you've built a successful brand and use that to transition to sell stuff on your own website, sell your exact same products on your own website using a platform like Shopify, but would recommend starting with Amazon. And the other one I wanted to cover real quick, Mike, jump into your next one, is from Bob. You know, we had another one like this. It may have been from the same person, Bob, but says in these webinars, we always hear about the top successes. What's the typical result, average income per year of our students? And so we would love to give this information, but the problem is number one, it's hard to get because not everyone will report that stuff to us, and we lose track of people, and they have to rely on them opening their emails and all that sort of stuff, which just over time just doesn't happen. The other thing too is that there's a lot of like legal issues surrounding that. We've looked into all this stuff because we know our program works, and it's based on our best guesses, is probably more effective than just about any other similar sort of e-commerce business building program out there. However, there's a lot of, you know, pretty strict legal issues surrounding that stuff by the Federal Trade Commission. And we went down this whole route before and surveyed all of our people and put together all this data. And then we found out after talking with a bunch of attorneys that even that we couldn't use just because it's very hard to sort of back up all that stuff without conducting like a $100,000 survey by some third-party company and all that sort of stuff. So with all that said, we can't really give that information. However, that's why we include all these crazy guarantees so that you don't have to worry about that stuff. You can just jump in, give it a try, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then you get your money back, which is basically what we're trying to cover you with the 2 different guarantees.
Awesome. Yeah. You know, and Nick asked the question, can you go over the 30-day guarantee again? And does that apply to the payment plan? Absolutely. It doesn't matter which plan you take, whether you pay all up front or whether you take the payment plan. If you realize within 30 days this isn't right for you, simply give us an email and we will refund you everything that you've spent towards ASM so far. So that doesn't matter which plan. And same thing for the inventory reimbursement plan as well. Even if you take the payment plan, you still have access to the $1,000 inventory reimbursement. Nothing changes for this payment plan. We just wanted to make that special offer available for John's group. We truly don't do that very often, because from a big company cash flow perspective, you can imagine we're pretty much financing it over 12 months. So we have to limit how often we do that. But we knew John's audience. We knew you guys are like a different cut, a different level, and we wanted to put that in front of you and make that available. But I want to talk, answer a question for Chris. Again, a follow-up on the damaged inventory. What happens for products that are returned damaged and can't be resold as inventory? So Amazon actually takes that into account. So if a product is damaged, when they get it back, they reimburse you for that. So if you get a product there and a customer returns it because it's damaged, you're not you don't have to like pay for that product. Amazon reimburses you exactly as if you would have sold it. So the customer is going to get their money back because Amazon takes care of the customer no matter what. And you, if there's a damaged product that wasn't your fault, it happened sometime in Amazon warehouse, it happened sometime during the shipping of it, Amazon is going to reimburse you exactly what you would have gotten had you sold it. They're really good about that. Little story with me, I once had about 1,000 units go missing at an Amazon warehouse. And after 60 days, them trying to find it, they ended up reimbursing me for that because they couldn't find it and it was their fault. And so I got paid the profit I would have made or the amount they would have paid me had I sold all those on Amazon. It was incredible they did that, but they're really good about that. They're really doing a good job of not only taking care of customers, but making sure that as sellers, we're covered as well when things like that happen.
So I wrote down a question earlier that I don't know if Creedmoor is still here, but that person was here early on. And they asked a question that said, can you do this with, some different medical equipment type products? The answer is probably. We have a very specific kind of product selection method because our goal is to stack the odds in your favor so that the first time out with no experience, you're as successful as possible. And where we've seen people make some pretty big mistakes is they have a product in their head that they want to work, but it's not really a product that has either low enough competition or high enough sales volume on Amazon to make it work. And so what we recommend is kind of running through the filters you either learned in this webinar or that we go into way more detail inside of Amazing Selling Machine. And that'll help let you know that if you've got some product ideas in your head, you'll be able to validate whether or not those, sort of fit the criteria that we have proven with, thousands and thousands of students to really give you a leg up when it comes to being successful as fast as possible. So this can work for just about any regular consumer physical product that's sold on Amazon, but would definitely recommend checking that stuff out because your goal is to sell a product with high sales volume, low competition at the end of the day, and a high potential profit margin. And so you'll kind of need to run it through some of those filters to figure that out.
All right, so Paul S. has asked the question, where is inventory warehoused? Is it shipped from the manufacturer to me or to Amazon? Amazon stores all the inventory. So early on, what I did, like you don't have to do this. What I did starting off this business, several years ago, is I wanted the first shipment of inventory to come to me. I just wanted to see it. I wanted to hold the products in my hand, check out the packaging. My wife hated it. I had several pallets sitting in our garage, drove her crazy, but it was my new business. I was just kind of a control freak. And so it took me about, 6 to 8 months before I realized that really wasn't going to work for my business or my marriage. And so at that point in time, I actually had our freight forwarder then sending the product straight to Amazon for me. So that's the beautiful thing. Once you have seen your product, all you really need to have is the sample. Get the sample sent to you so you can test the quality and choose your supplier. Then for your first order, let's say you're ordering 300 units, I would have your supplier send me 1 case of those, a small case, just to make sure everything is what you want it to be. But the rest of them can go straight to Amazon. You do not need to see those products at all. And once this business is running, your products go straight from your manufacturer. You hire a freight forwarder to pick them up, and your freight forwarder takes them straight to Amazon. That way you never have to house these, you never have to see them, and it truly is a warehouse-free, space-free business. Other than what you need for a desk and a laptop, you don't need to store anything yourself. They make this model as hands-free as possible and as time commitment-free as possible as well, because they do so much for you. You pay them for that service. It's incredibly affordable. But the freedom you get by using Amazon to use their warehouses, their shipping, their fulfillment is unlike any other business. Like I said, you could do this on your own. You could ship your own products. You could store them yourselves. It would still probably cost you the same, maybe even a little more, but the time that you would spend doing that would drive you crazy. Definitely use Amazon, have them store everything, and it makes your life so much simpler.
So I'll answer a couple cool questions here. So Viking says, by selling this course and business model, aren't you creating your own competition and destroying your competitive advantage by being early in the e-commerce growth? So it's a great question. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering this thing, like, why the heck would we be teaching all this stuff if we say it's so good? So the thing is, Mike owns his own physical products, consumer brands. I have my own brands. But the thing is 99.999% of products sold out there are not going to fit in either one of our brands. The main brand that I'm focused on, outside of growing amazing and helping this big community and doing all this sort of stuff to really make a big impact in the world, outside of that, doing my e-commerce business is, kind of a healthy food products company. And so you can imagine that, like Creedmoor said, medical equipment, automotive stuff, kitchen stuff, most of that stuff is never going to fit within that brand. And creating a single brand, we recommend people start with a single brand with a single product and go to 2 products within that brand, 3 products within that brand, and really don't look at creating other brands until you're way down the road, because there's no leverage there. If it's all within the same brand, you can sell each next product to the people that have already bought your first products, and you're building a more valuable brand, which is a big part of this also. So with all that, like, we're never going to touch most of the products out there. So it really doesn't hurt us at all to go out there and tell people about this opportunity, share with them how to find products, how to sell products, how to source them, how to build their entire businesses. Now, the one thing we try to stay away from doing, because this could hurt us, is really talking specifically about the products that we do sell. Like, we're happy sharing stats, sharing strategies, but if we go out there and tell you, here's the exact products we sell, here's our exact brands, then the problem is like, you may not know the full story. These may not be good opportunities now. And people just kind of get tunnel vision. They think, oh, if that's what's working for this person that's teaching all this stuff, then I have to do that. But they don't know the full backstory. And so it kind of becomes a problem there, and also is a potential issue from competition for ourselves. So that's the one thing we don't do for that reason, as much as possible anyways. But yeah, other than that, pretty much most of the products out there that we're never going to touch anyway, so it doesn't really hurt us at all. And we can help people build extra income, replace their job, quit their job, all that kind of cool stuff with this without really worrying about it affecting our businesses. Now, Bob he asked a follow-up question. This is separate from that. He was happy with my answer about the success rate and says, can you at least tell us, what percentage of people take the 30-day guarantee? So in our experience, it's about 15%. So about 15%, sign up. They're super excited to join Amazing Selling Machine, and something happens within those 30 days, and they end up bailing out, and we give them the money back. No problem whatsoever. That's why John would have us here, because we don't mess around with that kind of stuff. If you want out and it's within the 30 days, then you'll get your money back. Now, what we found is most of those people never actually did anything. Some of them never even logged into the membership, believe it or not, but pretty much none of them ever went through the first core steps of the business. They didn't watch some of the videos. They didn't go out there and set up their Amazon account or even create a list of potential product opportunities, which really takes nothing more than a couple hours. And so it's just some people, they're excited, they join, but like anything, you got to put in the work. If you want the result, you're going to have to put in the work, just like if you're following John and learning about trading. If you want to do it well, you got to put in the time and the effort. Same thing with this business or any business. But that is typically what we've seen. It's been pretty consistent over the years.
Yes, Suman's asking a question about the teeth whitening strips. Aren't they really competitive, especially going up against companies like Crest and Colgate advertising those? How can you, he says, I'm honestly just wondering how there's $1 million hot opportunity on such a product. Isn't it pretty ubiquitous? I can tell you this, and like Matt's going to chuckle in the background. We're not going to give away any brands here, but we've personally worked with brands that compete against these top teeth whitening companies, and on Amazon they are crushing companies like Colgate and Crest as well. So the opportunity out there to go against the biggest brands is absolutely there. I helped work on their site and not their site, but their products to get them up there, and they definitely are competing with and beating companies like that. When I started selling my products, I was going up against a great big company, and I had the same fear, like, how can I compete against a big company? Creating a pretty ubiquitous product, I thought at the time too. Well, it's not as hard as you thought. It does take work. It takes knowledge. You have to know the skills. You have to know how to do it. But keep in mind that some of these big companies, they don't look at Amazon as their biggest platform. They're selling worldwide in physical stores, and Amazon is just one small channel for them. So they don't put all their time and resources into it because it's just a small percentage of overall sales. So if you do focus on it, if Amazon is your primary channel, you can absolutely go out there and compete against some of the biggest names out there. Now, also want to address, the teeth whitening strips. They're on the Hot 20 product list. Those products met all the criteria that we went through on this webinar, the competition, being able to easily source them, make the right kind of profit out there. However, when you get inside of ASM, we will give you even more detailed product criteria to really narrow it down even further, especially from the competition side and from the profit side. So those were just to give you an example of how easy it is to go out there and find from the 3 billion products, just 20 random products that meet the criteria for being able to go out there and still make a large profit margin off there. If I were starting out in this, I wouldn't necessarily pick one of those 20 products. We wanted to make sure you guys had a list so you could start with if you don't join ASM. But I would absolutely use those as kind of like a sounding board for here's the type of products. Here's the different things we want to look for. When you're in ASM, we want you to pick your own product. And we're going to walk you through that entire process. And it is a process. It's not like hitting a button. We're going to go through even more details. For example, Suman and everyone else, we're going to give you category specific details. If you're looking in sports and outdoors, here's some specific details to look for. If you're looking in home and healthcare, here's some specific details to look for. We go into much more detail because we want to give you that much more chances of being successful with your business. And hopefully that helps answer that question, Suman.
So Doug has a quick question. We're probably gonna have to wind up the Q&A real quick, but a couple of things to remind you. So Doug had a question, how can I join or invest now and do it later when I can focus and put my best foot forward? So you can totally sign up for Amazing Selling Machine right now. And the cool thing is that if you go to that asmnow.com/simpler, you're gonna be able to lock in the $1,000 inventory bonus, which is only available for this webinar. You're gonna get everything inside of Amazing Selling Machine, but we've decided to do something special just because John and Simpler Trading allowed us to come on here and sort of share this message with you. And so we've decided to basically pay for your first $1,000 in inventory, which is pretty crazy. All you have to do is like send us an invoice within the first 60 days, and we'll basically reimburse you for $1,000 of your initial inventory. We're also using that to incentivize you to get up and running and get your product live and really build your business, which we found to be the tipping point for people that end up becoming successful. So you can totally join Amazing Selling Machine now, and you can go ahead and the training will be there, and you can go back and watch it anytime you want. If you can't start this business for a couple weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months, we're still going to be here. The mentors will be here inside the program. The community will be here. The training will be there, and it'll be up to date all the time. You'll have access to the software and everything else. So you can join, lock in the $1,000 and everything else right now. So there's no problem with that whatsoever. So yeah, with that said, pretty much we've run out of most of the questions here. If you have anything else, you can feel free to always contact our team. We're always available. support@amazing.com. If you go to amazing.com or amazingsellingmachine.com, you can live chat with us. You can call us. We have a great support team. We're always available. So just let us know if you need anything. And just to remind you, the $1,000 inventory bonus is only for this webinar. So if you miss out, that's no longer going to be available. So hopefully you decide to sign up. So asmnow.com/simpler. Hopefully you got a ton of value out of this webinar. It was great hanging out with you all. You had tons of great questions. I really appreciate it. We've had lots of great engagement here. Lots of really good, thoughtful, smart questions, and hopefully we're able to give you some pretty decent answers too. So thank you very much for spending this time with us. That's really it for me. Hopefully I get to see you again sometime in person or on another webinar or live training, or you check us out, anything like that. Either way, I wish you the best of success, and hope to see you again. Now I'll let Mr. Mike sign off.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And thanks, everyone. Still have lots of people on the webinar. We love answering these questions. You guys asked some great questions. They're all the ones that if I were looking to do this business, again, I would be asking them as well. And also, thanks so much for the kind comments about the training, the time, everything that we put together in this. We put a lot of time in these webinars because we're not just here to sell you something. Of course, we're hoping that you join our program and become one of our members and become especially one of our success stories. But we always want to make sure that we give a tremendous amount of value. We want to make sure that if you do choose to try this on your own, you have enough information to go out there and do it. It may take you longer to do it. You may run into some speed bumps along the way and pitfalls, but we always want to give enough information that you really could do this on your own if you wanted to. However, we also know that we can provide a tremendous amount of value. We can help you go do this business faster, get profits faster, get higher profits, avoid those pitfalls, have the support behind you, and also have all the different people behind you that want you to be successful. It's not just me, it's not just Matt, it's not just all the amazing employees and the mentors, it's the community. The community inside of Amazing Selling Machine it's unlike anything I've ever been a part of before. It's inspiring. I think back to one of the earlier slides, and we talked about you really need to be, one of the 4 pillars was be in an environment that helps you succeed. ASM is that environment. When you get involved in it, you will be amazed at how much support there is inside of there. We've had some people who are ready to throw in the towel, and they finally posted in the community that I'm having a hard time. Here's my stumbling block. Here's what I'm up against. I don't think I can do this. And then we have had people come in there, not even the mentors before we got in there, other members come in there and jump to their aid and say, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? And I wish I had it up here. I have a couple examples of it. People that come back and said, I was ready to throw it in. I got involved in the community, and the community turned my business around. That's the value of having something like ASM behind you. It's not just the training, it's not that the mentors, not just the vault, not the sophomore. It's the community that you have behind you. And I'm a member of that. I don't believe I could have built this business without the community. Even having Matt as my mentor to show me what to do, the community was able to bring me along and help me through this. That's why I do what I do. I loved actually building the business. I love helping people. Now I love training people. And now I love helping grow Amazing so we can share this and bring this to as many people as possible. So thank you guys all for spending the time with us. Here where I'm at, it's kind of about 9:15. So I'm going to go and see what the family's up to. Hope you all have a great night. Hope that if you haven't joined right now, hope you get a chance to watch the webinar and think about it and try to join when we do a replay as well. And if you don't join right now, hopefully some point in the future, you're able to become a member of ASM. And if you're not, I still hope you and wish you the very best success, whether it's in training, whether it's in building another business. I love seeing as many people as successful as possible. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. And like Matt said, hope to see you sometime real soon.